Hello and welcome to Glory. I don't have that screen yet, but I do have the game. Let me quickly grab that because apparently I forgot. Of all things, it's always the one that I forget. Don't know. Don't know why. Don't know how. Don't know why. Don't know why. I don't know. Anywho, so let's see here. We have one person who needs leveling up. Don't they all level up at once? Did I forget him? Oh, right. I couldn't decide. I was supposed to decide after the last one. Yes, indeed. Blonde tie tonight. Blonde hair, green eyes. The best kind of garu. No, it's not really. I don't really care. Honestly, everybody, every garu. I don't care about guy garus. I'll be honest with you. For me, it's always the femme garus. There's something about them. I don't know what it is. Is it because they're basic? I don't know. They're enjoyable. They're usually a bit on the I especially like the garus who are gorgeous but not actually stupid. The ones that are stupid are not that interesting. But I just like an intelligent woman. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see here. What? I am how I am. Hey. Huh. An idea. We really could have him go part overseer. That'd be fun. Hey, Azzy, how's it going? So, you guys might be able to hear my throat is a little blurred today, and it's like that because we pushed a little too far yesterday, but I mean, I literally got one mission done by the end of stream because I was having so much fun with the hydration! God damn it! Alright, let me have a drink. So I think today we're gonna try to be down here for a while. Oh. Could you imagine if I'd done all the Lord of the Rings reading like this? And Gandalf said, "Fly, you fools, fly." Sexy Lord of the Rings. Fly, you fools, fly. Oh. Don't mind me, Frodo. I'm just going down the crack with this here Balrog. Don't worry, I won't be coming back. I'll do to it what I did to the others. Damn it. Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. What I do know is that before that session, I will probably be a little late because we are we're streaming some Next Fest games in the morning, and then we will because that's we're not doing World of Darkness this weekend, so in the same at the same time we're going to be doing some games. I'll try and be done about half an hour to an hour done earlier, but yeah, it is what it is. Aegis Bane, thank you for the first time chat. How's it going? To answer your stream title, no, Cassia is a mutant. Cabela is by far superior. Oh, you mean this Cabela? Yes, look, I have three best girls in my party. I have Cassia, who is incredibly powerful and actually well learned. We have Cabela, who is goddamn, she would probably be as dumb as they come. And then we have Sister Argenta, who yeah. Just as a reminder, I am a switch. I'll happily take dom. I'll take sub. I'll take the lot, and I will enjoy. Preferably all in one. I'll take an all in one package any day of the week. Yeah, yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. Got no issues with that. Proper psychic implementation will likely be in the next 2 weeks. So we're gonna have to wait until next time. Gotcha. or at least the start of it, but it will not be ready for Saturday. That's okay, because by Saturday I will still have gone through and found a few things to toy with. That being said, I'm not entirely convinced that the stuff I've chosen already isn't the best current choice. There are definitely a few things that I've found in the other books, and I do need to rescour them, but there's definitely things I've found that are 100 XP and fantastic and will actually do the party quite a lot of good. So that's a thing. It's unlikely to be What? That being said, it is unlikely to be needed for Saturday because reasons. Oh, that's fine. I have no issues with this. Ty always wants to spin the wheel. The wheel is fun to spin. That's in the DH2 rulebooks, right? Actually, no. I've found stuff in the other Rogue Trader rulebooks. In fact, not only have I found stuff in the other Rogue Trader rulebooks, I found where Biomancy is. As well as Pyro. I found them. I found the missing disciplines. So that was neat. Yeah. Oh shit. I can't tell you. I can't tell you because I can't remember. Why do you think I have to go back through? Well, you think I wrote this stuff down? Surprisingly, Cabela is sub. She literally calls you Masteral. You know? That's fair. Huh. That's genuinely fair. I didn't consider that. Wow. Aegis Bane. Well played. You're right. She does call you Master all day. Huh. So. Alright. Screw it. Let's do this. So. Cabela is a sub. You're right. You're absolutely right. Aegis Bane is Troop. Ah, hey Troop, how's it going? You're right. Okay, Cabela is a sub. Cassia. Is Cassia a switch? Or a sub? Part of me wants to say that she's a sub, but the other part of me wants to also say that she's entirely untested on what on her own preferences because she's been locked in a tower effectively. Have a good night, Wolfie. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely sleep. Okay, so Cassia, I think Cassia has the potential to be more. Until she mind controls you and she's a noble. Yeah, so that's why I think she could be both, honestly. And Argenta. Argenta is... I want to say Argenta is probably a Dom. Yeah. From what I know of Cass, I would guess sub at the start, then ends up Dom or maybe switch. I honestly think Cassia would go the path of the switch. And I think you're right. Argenta is definitely a Dom. Between the three of them, I would be happy. Very, very happy. They drag men off to dark rooms. Damn! Yes, please. I'd happily go off to a dark room with all three. Being the guardsman they decide to reward is scary. Yeah. Do they come out scarred? I wouldn't be overly happy. I don't want some scars from a good night, you know? Like, let's be honest here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of pain. Pain, it would have to be discussed. Pain is a no-go. I mean, it depends on which sister. That's a fair play. That's a fair point. Cabela gives you light cuts and blood play. Maybe take Cabela out then. I can't say I'm into pain, and frankly, the smallest cut just... The thing with cuts is if it's a small enough cut, it's a frickin'... It is... Like, paper cuts are evil. Absolutely evil. Some of them would 100% go with whips. Yeah, probably best not. There'd be no questions or discussions. They would do so in the name of the Emperor's holy light. Guys, I hate to say it, but sex in 40k just sounds really unpleasant. It just sounds incredibly unpleasant. Right, so for Pascal, I've been considering either Bounty Hunter, Executioner, or Overseer. There are benefits to all three. I think Overseer could be good. If I go Overseer with a Servo Skull, that could work quite nicely. I gave myself a Cyber Raven. I couldn't have a Cyber Mastiff because apparently you have to be primary Overseer to get a Cyber Mastiff. You do not get to get it as a secondary, and I'm just calling bullshit on that. I wanted a dog, and they gave me a bird. So, I'm going to use the bird to my best ability, but I wanted a dog. I mean, ideally I'd have a cat, but apparently we don't have cyber cats. More for troop. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fueled by divine fervor. That's why you bet an Eldar of the non-Drukhari variety. It's so good, even girly man caved. Wait, what? Hold up, what? Why an Eldar? Why an Eldari? Why a non-Drukhari Eldari? What? I know you... What? What girly man? What? Who? Nah, only the Emperor gets cat girls. I'm not talking about cat girls. Although if you want cat girls, the felonids do exist, so... I guess I'll go down the path of the Executioner for him, because he is running around with a big stonking frickin' weapon. And that just kind of fits for me. Forced Repentance. Wow. I can always change it later if I don't like it, right? Alright, so let's get to it. So we've been stuck in we've been stuck in place for a while. Hey, you lot. Can't remember what the button was to get everybody. Back to the bridge. We're done here. The Ultramarine Primarch is hooking up with Yvrain. Oh, yeah? But why an Eldari? Like, you haven't answered that. Why a I mean, I get why non-Drukhari, but why an Eldari? Alright, for an Iconoclast playthrough, this will be my probably my one and only dogmatic moment. I know what has to be done here. I know the rules, and the rules actually do make sense and matter. Okay. Thanks be to the Emperor, you're alive, your lordship. We're most gratified by your return, and the crew is full of zeal to carry out any orders you may have. Before anything else, I will hear an account of what happened to the system's son. Try and figure out how to describe it within TOS. I thought the Eldari shunned their kinky past. The Voxmaster falters. Lord Captain, we saw a number of ships approach the sun. Black creations of inhuman make, amalgams of sharp angles and edges. They surrounded the star, and then... Apologies, but I struggle to find words that could describe that terrible sight. The Xenos made the sun vanish into the void. The interrogator closes his eyes and grimaces. Drukhari. Yeah. You see Abelard's expression change as if shadow has suddenly fallen over him. He rubs his temple warily, as if we did not have enough troubles on our hands already. The Xenos? Enemies of humanity? No shit, Sherlock. A breed of the Eldari, the most cruel and devious of their kind. The design of their ships matches the description provided by the Voxmaster. Yep, the Drukhari, happily, unhappily, I've been learning lately the Drukhari are nasty sacks of shit, and holy crap. Yeah, damn. Like all Xenos, the Drukhari are a blight on the face of the galaxy, but their technological superiority is indisputable. They abhor and fear warp sorcery, which is why they rely on creations of their twisted intellect. And many of those creations are capable of things that may seem akin to sorcery to the unenlightened eye. The threat of the sun is one example of what they're capable of. Not putting on voices, by the way, my throat is fucked. Okay. Are the Xenos in league with Aurora's cultists? We can rule out that possibility. The Drukhari would never ally themselves with the Archenemy's worshippers. If I had to name one thing that humanity and these Xenos have in common, it would be a shared loathing for warp corruption. Okay, let me put it like this. Firstly, they're described as gorgeous to a natural extent. So elves. I mean, they're just space elves. That's about right. Then you have the fact that they move with an inhuman grace. Add to that their flexibility. You already have a good lay there. Actually, that's fair. Yeah, no, you could definitely get some interesting positions out of a contortionist. Now consider their minds. They're all psychically active. It only makes sense that their very touch would touch not just your body, but your mind and very soul. They also experience on a level that's beyond our own comprehension, from what I recall. So yeah, that's the reason. Ah, I see. So basically, they lay you physically, but they also lay you mentally and spiritually. So you're going full-blown cult of ecstasy here. Gotcha. That would probably be the best way to describe that then. They're full-blown transcendent. It's the cult of ecstasy. Heinrich glances round. The situation calls for immediate action, Tyroki. We can continue this conversation later if you so wish, but right now he gestures at the deck teeming with tumultuous activity. I believe you should assume command. What is the current situation on board? The navigator's sanctum is no longer empty. The warp engine is still refusing to obey the engine sears. Without it, we cannot perform a warp jump. Pascal's voice buzzes anxiously from his vox. It may be angry, or perhaps it is lamenting the injuries it has suffered. I will immediately initiate preparations for a prayer service. If the Omnissiah grants me comprehension, I will appease the machine spirit of this vessel. Why did you not send a shuttle to the planet for me? I do apologize, your lordship, but we were unable to receive your request for evacuation. The Vox link was overrun with vile interference, screams, blasphemous hymns, and other equally sinister noises. Any who listened to the interference for a protracted period lost their sanity. Several dozen operators went mad monitoring the Voxcaster in the hope of hearing your voice. Each one of them waited in vain. Well, that's a waste of people. God damn it. What's happening on the planet now? Our auger operators are reporting numerous uprisings and other manifestations of the Archenemy's powers at various locations on the planet. Based on the fragments of communications picked up by our Vox operators, there is practically no resistance being offered by the governor's forces. Millions of people are converting to the blasphemous Final Dawn cult en masse and assembling in prayer circles. Do we have any hope of retaking the planet? I fear that Reichhead Minoris is lost. The situation is deteriorating by the minute. We must leave this system as soon as possible. However, there are still people on the planet who have not succumbed to heresy and who are worthy of rescue. Besides the small number of our own shuttles, we also have the shuttles salvaged from the starport. The dark eyes of the Sister of Battle flash. We must save as many as we can. This has all happened for a reason. Saint Argenta, whose name I carry with reverence and trepidation, is famed for saving the people of a dying world through the power of prayer. The God Emperor himself sent a star from the heavens that lifted the saint and her followers up to the sky, away from corruption and death. We must do as she did. Direct all our efforts to saving those people who at this moment look to the heavens in hope of salvation. The lives of peasants are of little value. Our prime objective is to save the holy relic, the miraculous fusion reactor, and the electro priests who guard and tend to it. Oh, also, this is literally still the first 30 minutes of the stream. How is this the opening conversation of the stream? Like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I've been getting more comfortable just talking about random shit these days. I'm having a great time with it, so hopefully you guys do as well. If anybody gets uncomfortable, let me know. Right. Abelard furrows his brows. Every moment we spend in proximity to a dying world, we are putting ourselves at risk. Your life, Lord Captain, is far more valuable than all of Reichad Minoris. The von Valancius dynasty cannot be allowed to perish. And so lamentable though it is, we must rule out the idea of any evacuation. Hyrix's eyes, like two deep dark pools, are resolutely fixed on you. The world is doomed, and its inhabitants along with it. The disappearance of the star was the final nudge toward death. The finale of the cult of final Dawn's plans. I once witnessed a similar event. A world that has surrendered to the servants of the archenemy and permitted corruption to enter too deep. At this moment, millions of people are bowing down before those who promise them salvation, and they are willingly giving over their souls to chaos. A sacrifice great enough to bring forth a demon world. Our only hope of stopping this process is to retreat to a safe distance from the planet and conduct targeted bombing of the Electro Priest's monastery. If we blow up the reactor, a thermonuclear reaction will follow. The world's oxygen will evaporate, killing off the entire biosphere. In doing this, we will save millions of souls from a fate far worse than death, and we will save Reichad Minoris from becoming an outpost of the archenemy. Only death can rescue these people. The Undying One has reached out his hand to this world. It is time for him to reap his harvest. We must not reject his design, lest millions of names never reach him, and instead perish in the depths of the Empyrean. Death is a mercy, Doman Tyroki. Whatever fate you choose for this world, I urge you to make haste, Lord Captain. The planet is burning in raging flashes of crimson and purple. I can see it even from orbit. As do I see that the storm is already upon us. With every moment we waste, it grows ever more difficult and perilous to steer the ship through the warp's turbulent currents. I'm with the lady on this. Enough talking. We need to get out of here while we still can. Something lurking in the depths of your subconsciousness bristles at the passing thought of saving people. The spike of horror you feel takes your breath away. It is as if you are planning to steal the prey of a mighty predator. The planet is already wrapped in a thread stretching out from the warp. It deserves to have a new master. And here it is. This is it. I'm just here writing about Mizoa Pater Lance weapons. Okay, fair enough. But this is it. This is the one moment. This is the moment when a dogmatic decision is actually a must. If you allow this world to stick around, it is going to become a daemon world. If it becomes a daemon world, it becomes a blight on the entire sector and going forward. We have genuinely got to destroy this planet. This is one of the few times when Exterminatus is a fucking must. And actually following the creed is required. Else this will just make not only this sector, but every surrounding sector so much worse. This one planet is going to be a thorn in so many people's sides. And I don't just mean governmentally, I mean like there will be a spread from here. We have quite literally no choice. Take an army planetside and purge the heretics? We can't. We don't have enough people to kill them all that way. I hate to say it, we have to do the dogmatic approach. And I don't know if we can do multiple at once. Can we do multiple at once? Does anybody know? If we can't do multiple at once, I would like to evacuate some people and then erupt the Electro Priest Monastery. I don't know how the game is structured, so I don't know neither. And there are times when choices will lock you out of other choices in this game, and I appreciate that. It also makes replayability so much higher. But by quite literally the rules of dealing with the arch enemy, this is the only choice. Yes, Lord Captain, I will immediately inform the navigation and artillery decks of the impending maneuver. Heinrich inclines his head. The right choice, Lord Captain. May the sacred exterminatus cleanse this veil of corruption. The bridge is in upheaval. The technomat's prayers mix together in a senseless cacophony, while servitors work hastily to remove a hardened crust of sacred unguents from the warp engine's components. In the middle of all this tumult stands Pascal with a data slate clutched in his hands, seemingly disconnected from the flurry of activity around him. Yeah, I'm not calling him a cog. Magos, if you do not bring the situation under control, we will all perish. Act swiftly. Nope. Magos, why don't you go assume control of the Technomats? Surely their contribution will speed things up. You know what? No. What is going on here? The warp sextant is not responding to commands. The ship's spirit is rejecting our prayers in anger. I am currently calculating a plea that might appease the noble spirit. Crew, heed the word of Magos Hanuman. Pascal, I kindly request that you take charge of this mess. Thank you, your lordship. You are right. Pascal's voice changes when he addresses the crew. He now speaks with authority and resolve. Tech comrades, heed my instruction. The mayhem immediately subsides, and the crew's actions fall into some indiscernible logic. The Omnissiah's servants start working in sync, and the Benaric clamor becomes a symphony of reports. Which the Magos coordinates like a skillful conductor. Admirably done, Pascal. The Omnissiah guides me. The prayers of the tech priests surrounding the cogitator almost drown out the sounds of the bustling bridge around you. Pascal, poring intently over the data slate in his hands, extends a mechadendrite toward you. Please take your place at the cogitator, Lord Captain. I will step up to the cogitator. I'm not even going to bother asking. I've had to do something like this before. It makes sense. So there's a lot of troops on your vessel, depending on what vessel you're captaining. Remember, we did lose a lot of people, primarily lower decks, but we did lose a lot of people in the tutorial when we were assaulted by chaos. Like, we were genuinely assaulted by cultists.
Take it, bitch!
Frick! Thank you, Tank. How's it going, man? Ah. 41. Damn. 41 daily evils. Hell yeah. Oh, God damn it, frickin' Uwu. You're really bringing out the evil in the low end of the points, huh? I see. The huge machine in front of you is lit with dozens of vid screens and hundreds of lumens. The blinking lights and endless rush of symbols and digits on the green background make your eyes water.
I am completely and utterly evil. I live to be bad. I live to be bad. You are correct.
Realistically speaking, you lost nothing in terms of population. Yes, but I know the rules. I know the fucking rules. If it was like a Tyranid incursion, we'd fight them to the last. yes, if it's chaos, well, more often than not, you'd actually go and fight it. But let's be honest, where are the Space Marines? Where is the Imperial Guard? Where are the Sisters? Where is anybody that could actually stop this from happening? Right now, chaos is spreading across this world like a wildfire because it's already been working on this world. The cult has been here since before we were. We have hit Exterminatus. We have quite literally no choice. Our force alone is not enough to undo the shit show that has been happening here for some time. We just got here. No, me. I am. No, you're correct. I am. No, exactly, Azzy. You're correct. I am evil. You're a game master. Nothing comes with that territory. Besides, if you were evil, you would never hold back. Anywho, you cannot tell me you don't have a kind streak there, Mr. Dungeon Master. I work in sales. Evil is part of the resume. Evil is everywhere. I'm the best kind. There ain't nobody there. What do you mean there ain't nobody there? What? What do you mean? Ty, you see my kindness prolongs the player's suffering. Killing players is easy. Well, actually in 5th edition, it's surprisingly not without making a whole lot of custom stuff. Keeping them alive to be tormented is so much more pleasant. No, really though. Fucking in 5th edition, it's hard to kill people. Even with death saves, it can be really difficult unless you outright say that death saves stick around until a long rest. It can be insanely difficult taking people out. And yes, you could have multiple enemies attack them while they're down, but yeah. In the current setting, everyone is so spread thin and travel is so doinked, they just ain't got the time for these worlds. That's what I thought. That is genuinely what I thought. Like, there's no one to stop this. You know, and we are but one ship. We're not even here for this. We're here for other reasons. But this is not... This is basically just an exterminatus and go home. Well, the Empyrean is kind of cut in half. Yes. Yes, it is. If I was trying to kill my party, like actually kill them, I could design an encounter in a matter of hours that would TPK. I could do so with base D&D monsters too. It would be more fun with homebrew, but I could do it easily with base monsters. Yeah, that's fair. Right, let me start again. The huge machine in front of you is lit with dozens of vid screens and hundreds of lumens. The blinking lights and endless rush of symbols and digits on the green background make your eyes water, and a vague sense of alarm simmers in the depths of your mind. The typical reaction of a layperson when confronted with the magnitude of the Omnissiah's creation. Among the numerous controls, you see the mouth of a cyber gargoyle, the same as at the gate to the warrant chamber. Pascal's voice becomes imbued with imperious force. Servants of the machine god, heed my command. Acolytes, prepare the incense instrumentation for the liturgy of machine spirit propitiation. Propitiation? Senior technomats, recite the prayer to generate a current data report. Operations will be marked with the campanological protocol, Omnissiah Rejoice. I must inform you that for the purpose of safety, complete reassembly of the warp sextant and updating of its datasmith blessings are required. If this is not done, then launch the volume of aggregate calculation errors could result in the destruction of the data crypts. But, as we do not have 100 hours at our disposal, we must omit this procedure. Pascal looks down at the data slate in his hands, a minor deviation from the rite of operation for the sake of appeasing the spirit. Deviating from the rite of operation? That sounds dubious, especially coming from you. Dogma bids that the appropriate rituals of cleansing and reassembly be carried out on the warp sextant. It is a long and labor-intensive process. Pascal hesitates before continuing. Our best chance is to bypass the sacred prohibition on directly interfacing with the conduits of the motive force. A faster and less orthodox route. Logic, succeed. The lives of the entire crew now depend on my convincing the ship's spirit to start up a broken component. Is that right? Your interpretation is verging on tech heresy. However, given your rank, Lord Captain, I will nevertheless respond. For a layperson, you have described our position with relative accuracy. I place my hopes in his revelations and humbly ask for his guidance. All right. What must I do? Place your hand inside the throat of the Cogitator Guardian, the Cyber Gargoyle, which has been assigned to guard the forbidden data crypts. The dynastic blood extracted from your veins will serve as a key to the data core where the machine spirit dwells. To it, we will offer our prayers so that we may bypass the protective protocol for defective connections and launch the warp sextant. Pascal's voice grows quieter. Give me a sec, guys. The laws of the Omnissiah know no exceptions, and so in this ritual I will remain at your side to placate the wrathful machine spirit in whose abode you will be intruding. Follow my liturgies, Lord Captain, and may we receive his blessing. Right, let me come back here. No, you could design an encounter that would kill most of us. Others would flee. I'm still waiting for the Necron DLC before I replay this game. Necron DLC? I'm sorry? There's a Necron DLC coming? Excuse me? Baking powder? You what? Will that start in the will that start in the tutorial area in the first act? Will that start here in Act 1? Focused on Trans in the Infinite. Will we be able to jump in on that after Act 1? I feel like that's an Act 2 or 3 thing. Fair, then I lock down magical escape via anti-magic fields and have hordes of small creatures chase down the survivors and drag them to the ground screaming. God damn. Well, that's just it, right? People in 5th edition, because of the way it is, literally people can look at a horde of 20 goblins and laugh, and that horde of 20 goblins actually has a fair shake of taking the party down. Sure, you might kill 15 of them, but that last 5 has got the rest of your party pinned. Or, you know, bleeding out. People always forget the thing with 5th edition, action economy is literally everything. And if the if the DM brings forth 20 frickin' kobolds or goblins, then that's 20 actions, bonus actions, reactions, whatever the creature stat block has. Kobolds done correctly and with malicious intent, that will kill people. Yes, I've read about the kobold dungeon. It's nasty. Arrow slits where they can shoot through, kobolds lined up using making full use of their pack tactics, traps even down the main line while they shoot you with frickin' arrows. So you've got your rogue has no, your rogue or anybody else who has the ability has no chance to actually disable the traps. Meanwhile, you're being pelted by 10 to 20 fucking arrows at a time. Yeah, no, fuck that. You got it. From what I've heard, getting through the first frickin' corridor can be an absolute bastard. I don't know, they usually give more stuff in the tutorial and first act with each DLC. Well, that's annoying because well, c'est la vie. I guess I'll miss that part. My goal is not to kill people generally, it's to challenge people. Yeah, no, that's fair. Example, Solomon and Cabela. Cabela came through this, Solomon and Cabela came through in Act 1, which is what we're still currently in. Unless this is an Act 1, and if this is just the tutorial. But I'm pretty sure the tutorial was the cultist assault on your ship. So, yeah. Place your hand in the Cyber Gargoyle's mouth. The metal jaws clamp down on your hand, breaking your delicate corporeal sheath and releasing warm red liquid into its gullet. At the same moment, the image on the vid screen before you changes. Connecting 0001. 00001. Connecting 00002. Connecting 00003. Blah, 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 blah. Machine code, blah, blah, blah. Nom ES operate act. Reach out and touch the keys on the instrument panel. Blah, 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 blah. Stab true. Blah, 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 blah. Damage. Stab act. Okay. Lord Captain. Pascal stops and then continues more calmly. Please, you will anger the spirit before we have removed the restriction. What does it all mean then? The sound of your voice, the cogitator's servant, whose bronze-bound skeleton is built into the cogitator housing, shudders with a screech. Its skull rotates toward you and then stops in that position. Benevolent code. A voice receptor. Pascal emits a sequence of binary signals and then is silent for several seconds. I hypothesize that the defect is located in the analyzer block. I register a reaction to the signal, but no processed response. A temporary override is permissible. The Magus intently studies the vid screen. The shell was created on a forge world unknown to me, initiating standard invocation of the machine spirit. Pascal leans over the adjacent instrument panel and sets his hands on the controls. At the same time, a quiet stream of machine code begins pouring forth from his vox. What should I do now? Lord Captain, I now ask you to address the machine spirit. Speak the following command. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. The voice receptor will receive the vocal entry. Without your sanction, the machine spirit will not accept the data from the warp sextant. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability of protocol of the warp engine. Now, with the 40k game, I am mostly going to be focused on abiding by lore. If that kills people, so be it. Yeah, no, fair. One of the cogitator's vid screens turns red. Pascal sees this and raises his hand, signaling to the rest of the tech priests, then withdraws a connector from his sleeve and connects it to the machine. Servants of the Omnissiah, make now the offering of cleansed data crypts to the machine spirit so that it may be filled with their true and calibrated data. May the Omnissiah have mercy on our souls. In meek solemnity, the acolytes offer up the cleansed data crypts to the warp engine one after another, repeating prayers of exaltation. After anointing the contacts with sacred unguents, Pascal inserts them in the cogitator's slots. Your head begins to spin from the holy censer's foul-smelling clouds of smoke, and from the loss of blood that the cyber gargoyle continues to drink from you, and the world swims before your eyes. Let this mechanism awaken in renewed purity. Pascal enters a sequence of commands and raises his head. Watching the vid screen, suddenly he stops dead. No. His fingers fly over the command runes and entering command after command. His mechadendrites clicking with their pincers pull at one lever after another. The vid screens fill with strings of symbols, completely incomprehensible to you, but clearly conveying something to the Magos. Once again, Magos, what is happening? Is everything all right? After a few seconds, one of the data crypts mounted on the cogitator begins to emit sparks. A moment later, another data crypt does the same. The next bursts into flame and gives off foul-smelling smoke. Around you, the Omnissiah's servants break off from their prayers and someone bursts into frantic pleading. Pascal mournfully grates out. The massive errors in the warp sextant's calculation is destroying the data repositories. The offering did not appease the ship's spirit. The warp engine cannot be filled with the motive force. We are trapped. A moment later, the Magus continues uncertainly. Perhaps an alternative Ryzen protocol, or an emergency launch of the auxiliary coils. The tech priest bends over the cogitator, but something in his pose and movements reveals his desperation. While the other vid screens are filled with more and more strings of symbols, the monitor in front of you blinks and its static image changes. Pascal is too engrossed in his ritual to notice. I will read the information on the vid screen. Stab true, stab false. Query. Machine spirit, can you hear me? The cogitator's servant creaks quietly in its joints, a sound that is drowned out by the Benaric hymns and the tapping of command runes. Ping, resp, injury, rescue, query. Rescue. Rescue. Yes, machine spirit, rescue us. Pascal turns to you. Lord Captain, the excess emotion in your command will render it unintelligible to... Pascal's next vocalization goes unsynthesized as he sees the vid screens begin to stabilize one after another. The strings frenetically galloping across the green background are replaced with stable images of regularly updating status reports. Only one monitor remains inexplicably red. The tech priest Vox crackles in shock, but his report is as clipped and clinical as ever. Registering, warp sextant activated. Registering, data stream stabilizing. Registering, 0 data errors found. Reporting, the warp engine is ready for translation. After a pause, because Pascal adds, I'm also reporting evidence indicating a Category 3 miracle fulfilling the criterion, thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in glorification of its function and in defiance of deactivation. Oh, that's good. Thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in... Well, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's go further. Let's go further. Beep. Nope, not quite. Need a better one. Hang on a second. That is terrible. Ah, now I know why nothing works. Because all the settings for this stuff is not being carried over. Ah... Now, that makes more sense. Okay, good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to increase this to say here. Duck Blue, maybe? No. Hockey Arena? Ah, yes. No, Chapel. Okay, with a multi-tap. Ping pong. Classic. Triplet. Triplet. Classic. Okay, this will do. Thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in glorification of its function and in defiance of deactivation. 7 locations finished, only 3 more to go. Well, that's good. Don't mind me. I'm just goofing off, apparently. Lord Captain Raver here. The crew are almost finished carrying out the orders given earlier, and I've just received confirmation from the engineering halls. I don't know what you did, but the warp engine's up and raring to go. We're ready to begin the translation to the warp, your lordship. That reminds me, in a couple hours, Azzy, can you remind me to fuck around with the GoXLR settings so that I can get our safe back up and running? So bloody much prep for a single shopping trip. Oh, no, I imagine so. Hilarious is what's the chances of going back? Contact Ravor. Lord Captain speaking. I give the order to commence translation to the warp. No. What just happened? Pascal pauses. I hypothesized that the ship's spirit heard our prayers and intervened. Summoned the power of the Omnissiah to do something beyond my comprehension. Remember how there's been stories in this game of the ship so far about there being the ship being haunted? I think there might be a freaking AI here, but I don't know. But the ship's apparently haunted. It screams to me AI, but you know. And I mean like a proper AI. It appears the Omnissiah perceives and knows the power of your faith, Pascal. Would not have worked this miracle otherwise. No. I know little of the Omnissiah's sacred machines, but what I saw on the screen looked strange. A non-standard output of information lost in the data core. The servitors used as data conduits are not always fully lobotomized. Fragments of their thoughts can appear even in pure code. Pascal falls silent, immersed in thought. Yeah, huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you on the Speranza? Because that has an AI. No, I don't believe so, but I don't know what the Rogue Trader's ship is called. I actually don't know what this Rogue Trader's ship is called. What he said about the servitors is actually canon, which is horrifying. Oh, gods. So one of the servitors that's part of this entire structure basically just had a moment of, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna save you. Go ahead, beg for help. Beg for help and I'll save you. I mean, cool. That means we've got, you know, we do have some shit in the machine. I mean, what it could be is that a bunch of these servitors are not fully lobotomized, and the whole, like, the place being haunted just means that yeah. It may be possible that more than a few on this ship are in that state. Anyway, the Lord Captain speaking. I give the order to commence translation to the warp. Waiting for you to ascend the captain's throne, Lord Captain. May the Emperor protect us. Making me walk everywhere. Exterminatus. Unnecessary in many a situation, but abso-freaking-lutely necessary in this one. And that is awful. That is actually, yeah. The human actually perceives their life. Ooh. Gods, I love how we warp. That being said, are those actual freaking windows, like glass windows? There must be hyper thick windows, because damn.
Valancia's flagship made its way out of the doomed star system. As the void shift plunged deeper into the Corona's expanse, the Rogue Trader's subjects bid a formal farewell to the late head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valancius.
Not sure the narrator's voice does it for me.
Having paid their last respects, the crew gathered their strength and braced themselves for whatever was to come next.
They're not glass, they're a specialized material. Stand by, I'll find out what it is, because I don't remember on hand. Oh, okay. Offhand. Is it on hand or offhand? Party, sound it out! Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey through the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator Orcelio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Furibundus system. The Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. Armaglass, sometimes spelled armaglass, is a transparent material designed to be far more resilient than conventional glass, capable of withstanding high levels of kinetic or directed energy damage without shattering. Huh. Would also hold back the void that is space. The Furibundus system is home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Coronis expanse. The tech priests are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp, and to allow the servants of the Omnissiah to inspect and heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take some time, which our astropathic choir will use to establish a connection with the prime worlds of your protectorate. Dargonus Janus and Kiva Gamma. Fuck me. Words today. Words today are not so easy. While armor glass is durable, it is rarely the only thing protecting the crew. Imperial ships utilize massive void shields to absorb energy weapon damage and physical ordnance. Furthermore, during combat or warp travel, these windows are typically protected by heavy steel blast shutters, which we just saw. They're frickin' huge and thick. In some narratives, these windows are described as being yards thick to hold back the vacuum of space. Hey, what I just said. Well, part of what I just said. I didn't know about the, what is a yard? How big is a yard? No, seriously, how big is a yard? From my understanding, people's backyards are not uniform sized. Fucking Imperial. Void shields, by the way, are fucking hilarious. They're not actually shields. Then what the hell are they? What do they just... What, do they project a pulse that just tells the projectile, hey, can you slow down? .9144 meters. No, sorry. Seriously, point? Like dot? As in just less than a meter. So just shy of a meter. Okay, got you. So that's about... Shit. That is thick. Sorry. That is thick. Hello. How's it going, Sir Bunyip? How you doing? So I've been alternating you two, by the way, Bunyip. I've got you and Grace as pilots, and unfortunately right now I can't, I don't have the tonnage to take an extra vehicles, so you're kind of both taking turns piloting the same vehicle. On the plus side, it has 9 SRM6s. The thing is a beast. It's just slow. Once I can get some extra tonnage, it'd be great to get you guys into something bigger. Nastier. Like the Brutus or something. You know, not the Brutus, the Dominator? Maybe. But yeah, I've got you two, Pion, and Tank as my primary, as my tank pilots. And everybody else is just throwing down on mechs. Yeah, so void shields, they literally don't shield shit. They instead basically open small portals to the warp and cast the shot into the warp itself. And it can and does occasionally just hit planets and ships in the warp. What the frickin' stupid? Okay. Master Zachary Weiss has recovered an invitation previously adrift in the Immaterium. The Liege of Footfall has humbly requested an audience with the rogue trader of the von Valancius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible. Footfall, the place where filth and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he'll be interested in talking to you as well, Tyroki. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, Tyroki. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. Your lordship, young Yvain Winterscale, has asked me to convey his gratitude for your hospitality, for saving him from certain death. Not wishing to outstay his welcome, he plans to disembark at Footfall. Lord Yvain swears he will not forget his debt to you. I mean, he would have died, but hey. Welcome to 40K. This is the same setting where in canon a group of orcs needed to cool some of their tech in space, and so their solution to the problem was to show up at a planet, drop giant silly straws from orbit, and then suck up the entire ocean from that planet. Huh? That has to be Imperial bullshit. That is Imperium lies. Come on. There's no way that happened. Propaganda at best. Don't mind me just dropping a quick high and grabbing some evil before bedtime. Enjoy your evil and enjoy your bedtime. Nope, that's very on brand for the orcs. Huh. Well, that one's got me at a loss. I hereby inform the rogue trader that during a comprehensive system inspection right, this unit discovered data clusters within the captain's cogitator that are concealed from prying eyes by means of a personal cipher and a sacrament of algorithmic authorization. Unit Tyroki von Valancius has been added to the access list and assigned the identifier Keeper 2. The unit can access the data from the captain's cogitator provided that he possesses the decryption key. You detect a hint of something resembling curiosity in Pascal's mechanical voice. Thank you once again for rescuing my squad, rogue trader. We will disembark on Footfall. The trail of evidence leads to the docks, and it wouldn't hurt to pay the liege a visit. I'm sure he will graciously extend his cooperation to the Arbites. Are you leaving us, Heinrichs? The arrangement between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was that I be transported to Footfall and no farther. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have. I hope we meet again. True servants of the Empire are always welcome aboard my ship. Thought that I'd take you in my party. And Heinrichs regards you with a curious look and a polite smile. An interrogator of the Inquisition seldom gets to hear such words. Thank you for your hospitality, Tyroki. I will not forget it. Solomorn, is there any assistance I can provide in your investigation? Right at this moment, unlikely. We have a considerable amount of dirty and routine work ahead of us, such as checking cogitator logs and questioning the station's residents, including its less palatable individuals. None of this is worth the rogue trader's time, I assure you. Still, should circumstances change, I will absolutely welcome the aid of such a dependable ally as yourself. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus who wants to talk to me? He's the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall, one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal servant to the Emperor to do. I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your voyage ship, abso-fucking-lutely, I request that you meet with Reverend Hieronymus. The shed blood has washed away the taint from our bodies. It is only right that we now wash our souls with the blessings of the servant of the Undying One. The Drusians, like the blood-spun web, are devoted to asceticism, rejecting wealth and luxury and surrendering themselves to his service. Though their thread is different from ours, the first spinner spoke of them with respect. Also, you never did answer my question. You asked me for a reminder in a few hours. Is your intent to have me remind you after stream or just in 2 hours? After stream. After stream, because I'll need to get it up and running and saved. I also need to... I'm also going to utilize that time to fix Susie's mic. Because after stream yesterday, I went and tried Far Far West with Melly. We did try another game, it was fun, but with 2 players, it probably needs the full 8 or closing on it. But we played Far Far West for our weekly hangout, and it's fun. Anybody who said it's basically just It's just Gunfire Reborn is an idiot. It's actually a really fun game, and it will probably stand on its own. I do think that it's going to need a little bit extra, but also we did a bunch of missions on easy, and then we tried a medium one, and oh boy, that's going to require some work. So yeah, no, I think upping the difficulty definitely makes things more interesting for that game so far. I got myself a minigun, and I'm happy. And on Sunday for me, Saturday for everybody else, this morning before I do Rogue Trader over on Azzy's channel, I will be playing some Far Far West as well as a few other games. So I'm going to be going in a little more prepared than the others, I think, but that could be a good thing, as there's some stuff in there that I should probably inform them of. Couple of things we've learned, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Okay, it's getting real hot in here. Give me one moment, guys. God damn, that AC is like an oasis in the desert, except instead of water, it's just cold air. Just stand in front of it for a moment, let it go on your neck, and it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, it's like going from a really hot day, going to your local, to the local the supermarket, like a store or anything of the sort, and walking into the actual the big ass beer fridge that the walk-in freezer fridge, not a freezer, it's a fridge. The walk-in fridge, it's like walking to one of those. It's like, oh yeah, on a really hot day, one of the best things you can do. Except for the fact that I wouldn't actually be buying anything because I don't drink alcohol anymore. Right. Alrighty, what do I need to know about Footfall? It is the largest port and the trading capital of the Coronis Expanse. It has a dockyard that will allow us to inspect and repair the Void Ship, and it boasts its own astropathic choir, the Coronis Expanse Communications Network, Nexus. Not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. Whoa! I would do the normal, but unfortunately Susie's microphone is broken, so I'm just gonna have to do this myself. Attention all forces to designate. You know what? Actually, let me turn on the microphone first. Hello? Hello? Attention all forces to designated defensive positions. I am speaking in place of Susie, who would normally do this sort of thing, so you'll have to give me a moment. But still, hi everybody. We're being raided by a very sizable tactical force. So let's have some of you get out there. Probably Jimmy, get your ass up there. Yeah, no arguments. I know you're arguing down in those tunnels. You get your ass up there and fight after what you did. You need to redeem yourself, sir. Otherwise, everybody get up there, kick their butts, and drag them into the cafeteria. They probably want a coffee or two. Get a fight in first, like a real fight. A good fight. And then enjoy some beverages. And that includes you, henchies. Enjoy your beverages. Anybody who wants an actual snack, on the other hand, is going to have to pay for it. Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. I haven't been able to fix Susie's microphone yet. Susie is the my security lady who usually would do the thing, but unfortunately everything is broken since our systems underwent some maintenance a little while ago, and I haven't had a chance to fix it. Why? What did I do? I did nothing. Why are you smacking with me with missiles, man? Come on. Anywho, how's it going, guys? I'm Tyroki, Glorious Villain. I do what I want. Welcome to the Shenanigantry. I'm playing Rogue Trader for shits and giggles. Because, yeah, good times. My sabotage worked perfectly then. Wow. Oh, so it was you! You were posing as the frickin' maintenance person. No wonder nobody could quite clock your frickin' identification. Looks like we're gonna have to, one moment. All forces, we're going to have a training seminar, especially on security. Stop letting people in that don't have proper identification. Come on. For crying out loud. All right. Rating you on gaming's recommendation. Unfortunately, it's going to be a drive-by. Oh my god, it's a drive-by! Get down! Where's the gunfire? You said it was a drive-by. I was expecting gunfire. Now I'm disappointed. Hey, I appreciate it. I really do. Hi, how's it going? I'm very eager, very early in this game myself and kind of fanatical about avoiding spoilers. I'll stop by another time and check you out. Have a great rest of the stream. You too. Thanks for coming in, Bear Anderson. If you are we're at the end of chapter 1, so if you're at the end of chapter 1, after chapter 1, we're not that far after a pretty long time of playing it, because I usually have a good yarn as well. But let me get you a shout out here, Bear Anderson. What were you doing? I wonder if it was Rogue Trader. Could it have been Rogue Trader? We'll find out. It was, in fact, Rogue Trader. Did I spell that correctly? It wasn't just coming through as me. Bear, yes, underscore, yes, Anderson, yes, Sin with an E, not an O, yes, correct. Yeah, but I got it. I am just past the first fight in chapter 1. I'm only just fresh out of the prologue, so you're well ahead of me. I will not continue. Don't look at the screen at the moment. But this is a fun game. There is some really cool stuff that happens. The characters are pretty cool. Cassia and Argenta are fantastic. Some people like Cabela, but she's a little bit into blood play, and I'm not too fond of that. But no. So what are you playing? Are you all Daka? Are you all Slishy Slash? Or are you glorious psychic powers? Or do you have a dog? Do you have a dog? I'm gonna be jealous if you have a dog, because apparently to get the dog, you have to be primarily the dog class. You cannot be a secondary dog class. If you are a secondary dog class, you can only take birds and skull. Which, by the way, I believe I took the raven. I might have taken the silver skull, but I'm pretty sure I took the raven. Don't worry about the conversation we were having earlier. Absolutely. I am a Voidkin noble officer. I don't really dirty my hands. I mostly delegate the dirty work to the lower castes. I see you're playing the game correctly. I myself am I believe I'm a Voidborn Psyker. Or being noble or not is completely irrelevant, but I too am an officer. I do not dirty my hands. I instead buff my allies. I alter their turns, and I make it so that everybody else is amazing. And while everybody else is amazing, I stand back and hopefully don't have to do much. If in doubt, I do have my staff, and I can electrocute people frickin' Emperor Palpatine style. And I mean original Emperor Palpatine, not the return of Palpatine. We were definitely, we were not discussing 40k love life. Oh yeah, absolutely. We were having a discussion earlier in the stream about which characters were, which of the women were doms, which of them were subs, and the kind of nasty stuff likely to actually happen behind closed doors. And the conclusion is that because we have a battle sister, Argenta is going to be, depending on her own proclivities, expect things like whips and other things. It's gonna hurt. It's definitely gonna hurt. Cabela is would be into light cutting and blood play. Cassia would start out probably being a sub and then move into probably being a switch. I think the conclusion we came to is a switch. If you don't know who that is, don't worry. You're in for a treat. That is the only thing I'm gonna say. The names are kind of everywhere about this game, so but I mean, it's even in my title, so that's a bit of a move. But be prepared. Be prepared. Cassia is one of the She's probably one of my favorites of all the characters, main and side character. So enjoy meeting Cassia. I look forward to your response on how she is. Oh, it's gonna be early. It'll be very soon, very, very, very soon. I like her a lot. If Argenta doesn't break out the whole Dommy Mommy nun cosplay, I can't be bothered. I think you will not be disappointed. We don't know a damn thing, but I'm pretty damn sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure that's how that's gonna go. Cassia is my waifu in my playthrough, so sweet. Yeah, no, she's adorable, but I'm pretty sure behind closed doors that sweetness will eventually shift. But it'll probably switch between a degree of sweetness and otherwise. Would she be a brat, though? I don't know if she would. There might be the case, but there's other things going on that could get interesting. Now, if you're into guys, which personally I'm not, you do have, the walking... Oh, wait, no, you won't have met him either. Well, currently you have Abelard. You have Abelard, who's a bit stuck in his ways, honestly. I'm gonna be honest, Abelard just screams missionary and doggy style, and that's about it. No, I'm not usually I'm not a lewd streamer. I don't usually talk about all that stuff. It just happens to be the direction we ended up in because of just being like, it was just sheer curiosity based on stuff that happened. No, Cassia is definitely not a brat. Perhaps a tease, but not a brat. I could see that. Thinking about it, actually, yeah, I could see that. Anyway, I'm going to drift on. Got some post-stream things to fiddle with. Have a great stream. You have a great one, Bear Anderson, and thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. And is that a Huffletruffle? Is that a Huffletruffle I spy? Did he say for Slanesh? Well, somebody wants his soul devoured. Man. Either you're aiming way too high and you want your soul devoured, or you're looking for for all the hot Damon the hot Damon girls in your area. Yeesh. Anywho, not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. In the Coronis Expanse, the Imperium relies on this as its outpost. The fringes of humanity's domain rarely resemble its central worlds, but so long as Footfall serves the God Emperor insofar as it can, it will be considered a citadel of the Imperium. Although I have heard that the tithes it sends are underwhelming, to say the least. More like hot Damon boys, if that's your preference, Truffle. Abso-freaking-lutely. Go hard. Me? Hot Damon ladies in my area? That's a possibility. But I feel like they'd be into some way too nasty stuff, and I'm not a fan of pain. No, I think Cassia would be the one for me. Pion! How you doing, Pion? How's it going? Oh, fuck the demonettes. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Hey. You don't know what people are into. Maybe they can be fixed. I literally stopped writing lore to say that. No, stand by, let me find the video and send it. Even if you send it, I can't watch it right now, I'm streaming. Personal rule, I can look at the occasional picture, but I cannot watch the video. You have no idea what you're talking about. Mama didn't raise a pussy approaches the demonettes. Well, he's dead. I know, but you need to know. You need to know. Uh-huh. I love how you couldn't even keep a straight face when trying to say she can be fixed. Well, look, you can't see the frickin' giant frickin' shit-eating grin that's on my face, so I've got to throw it out there some other way. But seriously, yeah, sure, buddy, she can be fixed. Absolutely. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm that one fellow who looks at Google. Nah, I'm a pussy. Leaps out window. Oh yeah. The demonettes. No, just no. Ooh. Shit gets nasty in there. Bjorn, how you doing, by the way? Don't mind what you've walked into. We're just we're talking about the shenanigans that is 40K and the sex lives that probably shouldn't happen. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm gonna have to comb through my liked videos. Good luck with that. Pretty sure you're busy at the moment though. Due to Footfall's remoteness, it has developed its own rules and customs. Many of the goods that can be procured there would be considered heresy in the heart of the Imperium, enough to warrant summary execution. Moreover, Footfall is the domain of the rogue traders, who transcend certain Imperial laws by virtue of the warrant they bear. I'm chilling. Enjoy your chill. Do you actually have an ice cream? Like a nice block to chill? Something to chill with? Maybe some water with some ice cubes in it? Oh, even just water with ice cubes in it would be frickin' amazing right about now. But I have cold tea, cooling tea. Oh. Good for the throat. Would be better if it was hotter, but yeah, over the course of stream, things do. Yeah, I did. Ice cream is done. Oh, so you've chilled and now you're just chilling. Gotcha. Or is it chilling, but now you've chilled? I don't know. Pick a direction. Let's see. Abelard, do you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Via Dame Takara is a very peculiar young man. Consider your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Takara is the appointee of Casbelica Mission, the largest robber baron crime syndicate in the Calixus sector. They specialize in the cold trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. Yeah, he was thrown out a window. Don't worry about it. The reins of power were picked up by Vladame Takara, so Vlad, whose appointment benefits not only the Casbelica, but also their most powerful ally in the Coronis Expanse, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Of course it's frickin' Winterscale! Vladame is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat around the bush and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in the Caspelican hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You are a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where the Caspelican barons crossed swords with rogue traders and emerged victorious. Do not forget that and remain vigilant. The Caspelica, vile tech thieves. Pascal's Vox barks out the last word like a profanity. Okay. Why does he want to see me this badly? Not you personally. He wishes to meet with the rogue trader of the von Valancius dynasty. Takara does not know that about Lady Theodora's death and is simply seeking an audience with the powers that be. My gut is telling me that something must be very wrong on Footfall if our astropath managed to read such strong emotion in such an anodyne message. We have no information, Lord Captain. The broadcast from the Footfall Astropathic Choir was the only missive Master Zachary has received lately. You're relaxing? Playing Fate Go. Enjoy yourself some gacha game. Was going to say, glad your voice isn't as wrecked as it was. To be fair, I am also speaking low. You may note that I'm speaking a lot lower than I have.
Take it, bitch!
And frick! Look, I streamed for quite a while yesterday, and it got pretty crazy. Yeah, need to stretch. Thank you for the care package. I appreciate that. Good reminder that I need to keep limber. All right, but yeah, so yesterday we went for about 6 to 7 hours, 2 to 3 hours longer than I wanted to, but at the same time, oh, thank you. I'd only done a single mission, and I really wanted to do at least a second mission, and the reason for that is because let me finish the hydration. That's the end of the tea. Onto the backup drink, which is just water. So yesterday I did a hangout stream. I had a really long chat with one of my friends who I don't get to hang out with very often, which funnily enough is exactly why I was late on Tuesday. Same friend, my DM for the World of Darkness Mage campaign. But we were having a yarn, and look, when she and I hang out, it's basically just a podcast on or off stream. We just talk about all kinds of shit. Doesn't matter what it is, really. We just talk about it. Obviously on stream it's within TOS, but sometimes we'll talk about things not TOS. Just, yeah. And we, you know, like, we're both people who can take a lot of discussion and actually understand nuance. So it's great. And we were about half an hour late when I realized, oh shit, right, I need to go stream. So I went to stream and I was like, you know what, screw it. Wolfie, you want to join me? And then we went and sat in the relaxed stream, and I went and sat in it, and she couldn't get into it. And I was like, why the frick not? You've got the role. And then I realized, oh yeah, at one point I took the role away from that channel because I was going to make it a much more curated channel. Like, people who come in there are people that absolutely can come in at any time. I'm more than happy. But what I'm actually going to do is just give the role, and then anybody, like, you know, most people can, like, some people can come in no problem. Others will need to ask. Because I know that especially if I mix certain people together, things get very out of hand very quickly, and I'd like to avoid that. Unfortunately, that does mean splitting some people up, but it's better than losing control of my stream again. Individuals know who they are, but yeah. It's only when they're together that these sorts of things tend to happen, so we just split them up and problem solved. Yeah, oops. It put me off the Hangouts for a while, but now now that I'm in a much better place myself, and I was in a really bad place back then as well. What with my relationship at the time being frickin' bad, frosty, not pleasant. I just, yeah, I've come out the other side, and I've come out a damn sight stronger, I think. And as, you know, as my massage therapist, and I'm not gonna, you know, a massage therapist, a proper massage therapist, not the kinky kind that people tend to think when they think a massage therapist, an actual massage therapist has said I'm a very balanced person. While she was literally poking into the tendons in my arm, God, that hurt. Man, when she was actually getting the getting my frickin' right lat sorted out, holy crap, that hurt. But yeah, we were discussing all of this. She's just like, yeah, you're just a very balanced person. And she said that about something else entirely, but no. A lot of people have a misconception that a massage therapist is the sexy kind. No, it is not a sexual massage. This is actual proper body work. And as a matter of fact, I need her to correct my neck, as I have scoliosis, and it helps the blood flow in my brain. Otherwise, I start getting some major behavioral problems, and I don't enjoy the aftermath of that. So I rather just keep that regularly worked on. That gets paid for as part of my welfare. So yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, no, it was the whole balanced, you know, you're a very balanced person thing, and that was for a particular topic. But then as I was thinking about it, I'm just sitting here realized, well, I'm a person that understands nuance. I'm a person that doesn't lean either side. I'm a centrist. I actually understand the necessity of a variety of laws, rulings, concepts, and otherwise. But I also see the downfall of a lot of different things as well. So yeah, no, that's right. I'm balanced in a lot of different places. And it's funny because all of this started out with discussions with somebody about me being a switch and having my switch side never really engaged in a relationship, and that probably being a huge portion of why the relationships sexually always break down, because my needs are never being met, ever. Things you never really think about until you need to think about them. Or maybe people do think about these things, they think about them more often than I do, and all of this is just happening to be happening now. And all because of a character in a frickin' tabletop role-playing game. What is a switch? A switch is somebody who can be both a dom and a sub. And usually somebody such as myself, who didn't realize this until now, genuinely needs to swap roles in the middle of the act. Like, I do need to go both sides. I need to be dom and sub. Things you don't really think about until you end up encountering something that is like, oh shit. You know, this is like in World of Darkness game, the whole thing with Miss M. When she pinned my character to the wall, and she kissed him after something happened, and pulled back. He then brought her into a kiss, and she pinned him to the wall, and I went, oh, well, that's actually appealing. It's always me having to pin people to the wall. And quite frankly, I don't mind pinning someone to the wall and then them pushing me to the wall and then me pushing them back to the wall. That's happy times. That would be incredibly happy times. But these are the things you don't really think about until something happens. And the fact that it happened in, this realization occurred during a frickin' tabletop role-playing game is hilarious to me. It's absolutely hilarious. Hilarious? Sexy wrestling, I get you. Ooh, that sounds fun. That actually does sound fun. But yeah, I have not found, clearly, across 9 different people, I have not found my partner. Clearly I haven't. One day, we'll get there. And I'm tired of finding people that either want me standing ahead or me standing behind. I want someone that's my equal, standing beside me. Someone who is not only my partner but also my, one of my closest friends. Yeah, these are the things I've only just been realizing as an adult. Little sad, which is why I recommend anybody that's a damn sight younger than I am, think about these things. Actually try and think about them, and you don't have to find your place immediately, but really give them some thought, because having at least a thought of which direction you may like going might help you quite a lot. And that's not just for this part of everything, You don't know where you stand until you do. And even if you do, sometimes that may shift. You never know. You get older, some things are more important than others, and you shift a little bit. And some things will never change. It just is what it is. Some things will never change. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. We shouldn't assume we have full knowledge of ourselves. Exactly. Especially as you get older, you find you like more things than you ever thought you would. Especially as you stop caring. When you stop caring, you find that you're actually more interested in a large assortment, larger assortment of things than you ever thought possible. But sometimes you are actually genuinely sure of something, and more than likely that surety is on point. For example, I know someone, one of my family members is they are what are the people who they have preferences, but their biggest preference is personality. I know people who are gay, lesbians. I mean, that's not changing. But that can also expand. Sometimes they don't realize that there are certain types of people on the other side that they would actually be interested in, but they have a primary preference. I still maintain that humanity at large is bi, like just by default, and you have a leaning. You have this middle point, and then you have a leaning, and that leaning might be more intense than other people. I maintain that is the most likely probability. Like me, I have an intense sway towards women, but I can sit there and rate guys quite happily with women. I can sit there and be like, oh yeah, shit, he's not bad. I think you should give that a try. I have no issue with that. Would I actually go with a guy? No, because that doesn't suit me. I've long known this about myself. But to those that would, power to you. If you're a guy liking guys, fucking oath. If you're a woman liking women, fucking oath. Enjoy. I don't see why you can't. I don't see why it's anybody else's business. Enjoy. Enjoy to your heart's content. Or something else's content. Anywho, game. It's easy to assume you do have full knowledge of yourself. It's more mature to understand we don't. Yes, but there are some things where some people are very good at having a decent understanding of themselves, at least in certain regards. When you have a fairly strong feeling of a preference a certain way, it is unlikely that will change. It may evolve somewhat, but it's unlikely it'll change. For example, a man who likes men may find that they like certain women with very specific personalities or physical features, but primarily they prefer men, and they know that. You know what I mean? And more than likely, they will never find that woman that would suit them otherwise. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And overall, their preference may straight up just be like mine. Where I prefer women and can happily rate men, maybe this guy likes men and is more than happy to rate women with friends. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about rating people overall, but we can all sit there and be like, oh yeah, not bad, not bad. The hair is solid. Yeah. Okay. But sitting that, I've also been able to sit there with women looking at other women being like, and I've had friends who are female. They prefer men. Absolutely. And they'll look at women and go, damn, if I don't like men, that's just how people are. It's genuinely just how people are. And when everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't rate each other based on physical appearance, why the fuck not? Some people just have it going on. That's not to say that, that everybody else isn't, can't be pretty, that everybody else, isn't, can't be up there. But let's be honest, some people are just incredibly fucking gifted genetically. Some people just have it going on, You look at somebody and you just be, like some guys are just like the modern Adonis. Some guys are freaking like, Heracles. Some guys, they just are absolutely blessed genetically. And it's like, you son of a bitch. And then you have women who are just, they're the same. Like they have curves in incredible places. You know, it doesn't matter what hairstyle they have because their facial features are very pretty. You know, like drop dead gorgeous. And it is a thing. It happens sometimes. And the funny part is when genetics aren't actually on their side, but they beat the lottery anyway. You know, you look at their parents, it's like, how the fuck did this happen? Yeah, mutations happen. And in her case, oh boy, that mutation. Nicely done. Yeah, got incredibly lucky there, lady. Unrelated to anything, I have a question for Ty in the chat. I cannot think of a word that I need. A dodecahedron. Is that a prism? I'm pretty sure, isn't a dodecahedron the 20-sided? Or is there some other word for that type of geometric shape? Hang on. A regular dodecahedron is not a prism. It is a I'm sorry, man, I googled this. It is a platonic solid with 12 identical pentagonal faces. While a prism has 2 parallel identical bases connected by rectangular sides, a dodecahedron's faces are all pentagons, and it does not meet the definition of a prism. A dodecahedron is its own category of platonic solid, not a type of prism. In geometry, a dodecahedron or duodecahedron is any polyhedron with 12 flat faces. So it is a polyhedron. Whatever a polyhedron is. The most familiar dodecahedron is the regular dodecahedron with regular pentagons as faces, which is a platonic solid. There are also 3 regular star dodecahedra, which are constructed as stellations of the convex form. All of these have icosahedral symmetry, order 120th. Good gods, Wikipedia. Yes, polyhedron. One of Plato's regular polyhedrons. And is one of the 5 platonic solids. You know, you could, hang on. You could call it a polyhedron, or you could call it a platonic solid. If you really want to be fancy, silly, and fun, call it a platonic solid and watch everybody go, what the fuck? I appreciate the appreciation. I think I will. Yes! Yes! Oh, that's brilliant. I'm happy about that. Vigdus, tell me about the system. Furbundus is valuable due to its close proximity to the Maw, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly known for footfall, the regular base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis expanse. Let me change something. I can hear my AC is triggering the mic a little too often. I don't mind it being there a little while I'm talking. It's kind of it can't be helped given the heat that the room got up to. I don't know the actual thing. I just know I'm sweating like a pig, and therefore that's not good. A platonic solid is what I have after being single for 12 years. Oh boy. Gaming, don't worry, I had a similar length of dry spell. You'll find somebody. Or as in my case, somebody found you. Even if it's a temporary stint of a couple of months, that's still something. It gets you in there. You know, it gets you back in things and just, yeah. In my case, man, she found me at the worst possible time. Look, I'm very good at projecting false confidence, or at least, no, I'd say I still am. However, the confidence you may get now, if you do happen to get confidence out of me, is actually genuine. I have a degree, like, since since everything at the gym has severely ramped up and I've been able to push weights I never thought possible, it's kind of hard not to get a degree of confidence. And the fact that I'm doing fairly well, I've got a good, I've got a good number of friends, people I hang out with, people I wish that I could hang out with more, but time zones do not permit. Hence the lateness of the last 2 streams. The last 2, not this one. I was actually relatively on time this time. I mean, 5 minutes is fine. 5 minutes is fairly normal around here. But, yeah, no. It's the same thing that I always advise to people as young as teenagers, because I have had to advise teenagers in various communities, especially VTuber ones. I've just, people being like, I want a girlfriend. It's like, okay, here is very necessary advice. Forget about it. And the reason I say forget about it is because more often than not, when you don't look for anything, something will come to you. The best advice I could possibly give to people is do not pursue a relationship, and especially don't pursue a relationship when you are mentally not with it. I don't know about gaming, but I would say if you have a lot of struggles mentally, a relationship will only make that worse. There are the rare times where a relationship can actually even that out, as you both have many issues, and for some reason you shouldering each other's issues helps each other out. It can happen, but don't rely on it. The best thing you can do is work on yourself. Actually actively think about the struggles that you have and start processing that shit. Work through it. And if you have to find if you need someone else to help you out with that, by all means, get someone else to help you. Doesn't necessarily have to be a therapist or psychologist or anything of the sort either. A good friend can make the world of difference. I mean, think of where I was a year ago. I mean, some of you didn't know me a year ago. Nigel did. Nigel's known me for a few years now. But even a year ago, even 6 months ago, I was broken. After shit constantly happening in relationships and friendships and things going on around me, my own hang-ups that had never been dealt with, there were a lot of problems, and some very, very good friends helped me process shit through everything that was happening. While we were processing the stuff that needed to be processed at the time, more things came up that were old and needed to be dealt with. Process all of these things, better yourself. When you better yourself, somebody will notice. Sooner or later, somebody will inevitably notice. And them taking notice, they'll show interest. Now, obviously, we live in a world where just because someone's paying you some notice doesn't mean they have the hots for you. So keep that in mind. We do live in a world where, unfortunately, gauging that wrong can get you in a lot of trouble. So it's best to, at this point, for now, while society is being as society is, let them come to you. Let them come to you. If you're not sure, if you think that something might be happening and you're not sure, let's slip that you're dense. Let's slip that you have no idea of when something tends to happen. Maybe they'll take that hint. And if they take that hint and come to you and really just, I want you. Congratulations. You are now the biggest winner on the planet. Good on you. Hopefully they've got their shit sorted too. And if it breaks down after a few months because either interests aren't as aligned as you may have at first thought, or, maybe you don't align sexually, or you don't, if you have to suppress big aspects of yourself, you're in the wrong place. I can tell you that from ample experience. If you have to suppress big portions of who you are as a person, you are in the absolute wrong place. The wrong relationship. You cannot reconcile that. You just can't. You know, if you're a freaking dom and you're in a relationship with another dom and you don't like being a sub, congratulations, you're in the wrong place. If you're in a relationship where you want to have kids and they don't, and you know that's not something you can really suppress because you have you want to be like a dad or a mom or something like that. That's not something that's suppressing. That's just going to create problems. Because you're gonna always want that, and they don't, and there is no changing that. You can't just up and change somebody because you want to be with them. You can't, and you can't change yourself on things that are inherent about you. So don't. That is just the wrong person. It's nice that they were, it's flattering that they were interested, but not everybody's gonna work out. So don't force it. If something doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Recognize that, end it, and move on. If you can stay friends, fantastic. If you can't stay friends because someone's going to be frickin' very, very salty or otherwise about it, then it's better to just not bother. Just don't. Tyroki, when are you going to get the raccoon to confess to his problems? He has a lot of eating issues. He has a high metabolism. Ways of life, things he's been lying about to us, and how the other raccoons won't let him play raccoon games. Yeah, keep saying that, and sooner or later, my guy, I'm just gonna let him do to you what he feels like. Honestly, the Rack is a really nice guy. He is a very kind raccoon, despite how gruff he can look, and he can look very gruff. Don't push the man. I'm not gonna stop what will happen otherwise. Thank you, man. Very wise words. Wise words learned from experience. Funnily enough, some of that experience originally came from other people, but now that I've learned it firsthand, I lean even more heavily into sort yourself out first. Always, always, always sort yourself out first. Because once you're confident in who you are, other people are drawn to that confidence. And if you fake being confident, if you fake being who you are, then all that's gonna do is sour the relationship when they learn who you are exactly. Another friend of mine said to me very recently, very recently actually, when I had the discussion with them about all of this stuff, and he said that it's especially important for anybody who is autistic. So if you happen to be autistic, guys, this is for you. If you're like me, you cannot mask in that relationship. I know you're used to it. Growing up, we have to be used to it. You cannot mask, because that mask is a falsehood. If they only ever see the falsehood, but they're interested in that falsehood, then that you are depriving yourself of knowing if they like the you below the mask. I'm me most of the time, but even then, to some degree, I am masking. I like to sit back and just chill on my own, watching the occasional thing and playing games and then hanging out in small groups. But at the same time, we all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. I had to. I finally got that in somewhere. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. If anybody knows that reference, you're awesome. I love that movie. That's your clue. That is your one clue. After the raccoon can do nothing. He has no means of travel. He has he traveled from the US to New Zealand on a frickin' rowboat. You do know that, right? I only asked that about him once. It's been a little bit more than that. Yeah, gotta be true to yourself, Picard truth speech. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there as well, because we're here, we may as well. But in Star Trek The Next Generation, Picard has quite literally some of the best speeches I have ever seen and heard in television. Picard has, oh gods, man, I was talking to a friend earlier, and the drumhead came up. Here we go. There's a couple of really good ones in the drumhead. Just the drumhead. Let me see if I can find them again, because oh damn, they're good. Okay. Okay, so one of them, here we go. One of them is this. You know, there are some words I've known since I was a schoolboy. With the first link, the chain is forged. The first speech censured. The first thought forbidden. The first freedom denied. Changed us all irrevocably. Those words were uttered by Judge Aaron Satie, the chick that he's dealing with is the daughter, if I recall. As wisdom and warning. The first time any man's freedom is trodden on, we are all damaged. Yeah. Yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. Also, that then goes on to, I fear that today, and he's cut off with Admiral Nora Satie. How dare you, you who consort with Romulans, invoke my father's name to support your traitorous arguments. It is an offense to everything I hold dear, and to hear those words used to subvert the United Federation of Planets. My father was a great man. His name stands for integrity and principle. You dirty his name when you speak it. He loved the Federation, but you, Captain, corrupt it. You undermine our very way of life. I will expose you for what you are. I've brought down bigger men than you, Picard. And all I can think now that I'm rereading this is, holy shit, they had today pegged. Wow. They had today pegged down to an absolute T. Holy crap. Absolutely insane. How much the next generation predicted current society. Whew. Damn. Anyway, so toward the end of the episode, we have one of my favorites. Worf says, I believed her. I helped her. I did not see what she was. Picard says, Mr. Worf, villains who twirl their mustaches are easy to spot. Those who clothe themselves in good deeds are well camouflaged. And Worf goes, I think after yesterday, people will not be so ready to trust her. And Picard says, maybe. But she, or someone like her, will always be with us, waiting for the right climate in which to flourish, spreading fear in the name of righteousness. Vigilance, Mr. Worf. That is the price we may have to continually pay. Gods! Damn! Picard really has some of the best speeches, and this is episode 4 of season 1. Good episode. Like, literally, Admiral Satie is going on a full-fledged inquisition, and all because they found one spy who admitted to everything and was going to be punished. But because she found someone who had Romulan heritage, despite being half what was this, like half Romulan, half human, gets judged because of their Romulan heritage. And I'm like, wow. I mean, Spock got judged for being half human in Vulcan society. Look where he is now. Dude is relied upon. Oh, so absolutely. TNG was always on the money politically. It was so good. There was just from the same episode. We think we've come so far. Torture of heretics, burning of witches. It's all ancient history. Then, before you can blink an eye, suddenly it threatens to start all over again. Honestly, Sir Patrick Stewart His delivery of all of these lines is honestly worthy of his Shakespearean experience. Man did incredibly. Which is why it was such a shame that he was basically fucking... Picard before season 3. It was so bad. And the fact that Picard was treated like absolute dog shit was just... That was spitting in the face of every fan of The Next Generation. And any fan that said they were fine with it was an absolute jackass and a liar. Picard did not deserve that treatment. What Picard did for the Fed has done across 7 seasons and in episodes of other shows was worthy of endless respect, regardless of his age. Regardless of his age. That man deserved respect all the way through, and at no point was he was never disrespectful. He always challenged people who needed to be challenged. At no point was he truly disrespectful outside of the few times where he slipped up, and every one of those times he admitted to it, apologized for it, and bettered himself. Picard is my favorite captain for a very good series of reasons. And yes, of course, I have a favorite captain. But Picard is amazing as a character. He is genuinely a character I looked up to. So watching him be spat on and told that he is nothing is just... Holy crap. And that all started in episode 1 of Picard in season 1. And honestly, the admiral who said that, goddamn, demote that person, does not deserve the position. Respect is not a thing that just comes out of thin air. Respect is earned. And Picard did more than enough to earn the respect of the Federation. Yes, there is a Picard show. Do not watch season 1 and 2. They are bad. Go watch season 3. It was actually really good, but they changed who was in command. Who was the person? Was it the director? I think it was the director was changed, and the direction of the show changed entirely because people were not enjoying it, and everybody, there was clearly a moment in the executives, with the executives just going, shit, how do we bring this back? And then they they made the one good decision they've made in years and put somebody in who was actually a fan, who was actually respectful to the content. In this day and age, that's freaking rare. But it was good. Like, season 3 was fantastic. I could not wish for a better send-off. Honestly. Yes, yeah, sure, it had some nostalgia in there. Sure. How did it get 3 seasons if people didn't enjoy the first 2 seasons? That's a phenomenal question, one to which I need you to ask all the people throwing money at things. How do so many of the modern series that aren't enjoyed get 2nd seasons? Here's a good one for you. And this is proof of what I said. How did the Rings of Power get a season 2, despite the fact that season 1 was almost universally lambasted outside of certain groups? Absolutely, universally, just annihilated. Still got a 2nd season. My answer to that is because people with money pushed it. They got a 2nd season. That's how. And also, I believe Star Trek is under Paramount, and Paramount were very much looking to keep their flagship IP going, because honestly, Star Trek is a big deal IP, and misuse of it, yeah, you're going to piss off every fan. You piss off every fan, you'll probably end up pushing away everybody else. Pushing away your staunchest of fans, some of them are crazy, I will admit this, but it is always a mistake to push away your staunchest of fans because they're the ones that tell everybody else about how amazing something is. And then you have to hope that some new crowd comes in and actually shares how great something is. And unfortunately, nobody was doing that with Picard. But I mean, now they've got a new series and it's even worse. Oh, gods, is it even worse? They didn't like us taking a machine gun to the bridge crew. Oh, wait, what? Did I forget? Did I happily forget about something? So you know how that food order got a new delivery driver last night, Ty? Yes, did they steal your food? Or did you actually get the food in the end? Please tell me you got the food in the end. Probably the original, the original contract had 2 seasons. That's also a possibility. But you have to remember that with the Rings of Power, Amazon spent, what was it? It was like $1 billion for season 1. What a waste. I will lambast all of these shows that suck. Honestly. And yes, some of it's going to be bias. Some of it will be my opinion. Some of it is just a straight up fact. Some of these shows are terrible. And unfortunately coming out of IPs that have done a damn sight better. Shit, even on Star Trek, Voyager has my least favorite cast. Honestly. Voyager had moments. It was enjoyable. The Borg stuff was fairly enjoyable, although they did kind of, reduced the impact the Borg actually have as a threat quite dramatically in Voyager. But yeah, Voyager's cast, not as enjoyable, I personally feel. I mean, Voyager, unfortunately, has to be compared to The Next Generation. Deep Space Nine. Oh my god, Deep Space Nine. Fantastic series. And also you had the likes of Neelix. God, Neelix was annoying. Neelix's squeeze, very annoying. Tuvok was okay, but for the most part, he did have moments that were more annoying than otherwise. But there were parts about Tuvok that were actually Tuvok. Sorry, not Tuvok. 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 Got to get the name right. I know it's something Tuvok, but I'm pretty sure it's Tuvok. He's okay. He's probably the better one out of most of the cast. The class of Star Trek. Well, I mean, that would be class of ship, actually, but it's not until Jerry Ryan came in, 7 of 9. Honestly, 7 of 9 was one of the more interesting characters. I know that Jerry Ryan was added in because they wanted to add in some sex appeal, and frankly, that catsuit was well played. She filled out that catsuit in the best possible way, but she's also a good actress. Quite capable. And frankly, I love the idea of taking a Borg, an ex-Borg, you know, freeing a member of the Borg, and then all of the trials and tribulations that come from trying to be human, you know, trying to become human again. And she became an interesting mix of even personality-wise, Borg and human. And the lines that she delivered in a very monotonous way, because that was intended, were done in such a well-played way. I actually like 7 of 9 as a character, and Jerry Ryan did a bloody good job. And that was when the series pretty much shifted. That's kind of a norm for Star Trek. You hit season 4 and shit really gets shaken up. But with Voyager, there were just so many things that were annoying. Like, Chakotay as an entire character was irritating. And Chakotay just as a character, personality-wise, wasn't enjoyable. Aspects of the history of his people were, could be interesting, but the way they went about a lot of it just wasn't. And that's from an international standpoint. I don't know about from an American standpoint, but from an international standpoint, I didn't like Chakotay. I just didn't. It wasn't that good. And Neelix was the most annoying thing there, but to be fair, every season has at least one annoying character. Star Trek The Next Generation was Will Wheaton's Wesley. God's Wesley Crusher. What an irritating character. Oh, talk about Mary Sue self-insert. Jeez. Oh, irritating. Very irritating character. In Deep Space Nine, I would say Kira, but she actually improves over the course of the, she has actual character growth. The one who doesn't have character growth is Miles O'Brien's wife. Was it Kyoko? Kyoko O'Brien? Keiko O'Brien. Absolutely irredeemable character. Irredeemable character. The way she treats her husband was absolutely atrocious, and he was nothing but loving towards her. Absolutely. Keiko, terrible woman. Terrible person. Absolutely terrible character. Hated by the by much of the fandom for a very good reason. She does have her fans, and I do not understand why, because her attitude is, it never gets better. Her attitude is spiteful and horrible and controlling, and she is everything somebody should strive not to be in a person. Terrible character. Absolutely terrible character. And we've been at this for a little while. Whoops. Furbundus is valuable due to its close proximity to Moore, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly, Melly, I'll read your stuff in a moment. Give me a sec. The system is mostly known for Footfall, the main base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis expanse. Additionally, the star itself is orbited by an Adeptus Mechanicus station, which is off limits to outsiders. Alter Templum Calixus EXT X17. I had the honor of tending to this shrine for a few thousand cycles. I suggest you abstain from visiting, as most tech comrades at the station are engaged in meditative calculations that should not be interrupted. Fair. Melly says, Uber refunded me the money. Excellent. So I ordered something else from somewhere else. Delivery took an hour. The Biscoff biscuit on the top of my drink collapsed into the coffee, so I was slurping up moist, crumbly, biscuity bits the entire time, and the mac and cheese was oily and bland. I was aware of having reflux all night while asleep. Yeah, it took too long. You are not meant... Your body's really not meant to eat that late. Damn, that sucks. At that point, you would have been better off just ordering McDonald's. Ay, ay, ay. And that's, yeah. Yeah, no. Damn, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, shit. That sucks. Sorry about that. I think we've been better off just going to bed, honestly. That's possible. This is the point where I'd say go have a protein shake at that point, because, like a plant-based protein shake will digest quickly. Pea protein is the best, especially if you get one that has all the extra acids that you need infused. It's what I've been having lately, and frankly, it's been going down so much better than whey. Yeah. Keiko Turbo Woman, I found Neelix entertaining. Usually Keiko is just evil. No, she is. She really is. Personality-wise, she's the kind of person that I know many people would I know many women would outright backhand her, and many guys would avoid the plague. The absolute plague. And Miles, yeah, he's got his vices, but for the most part, he is an incredibly supportive husband. Even from the get-go, when she's struggling with being stuck on a station, he supports her to the point where he tries his best to find her a job. Tries to find her something to do. Eventually, he actually, He's the primary reason she ends up the teacher on the station. If I recall correctly, isn't he the reason why she manages to get the whole botanist exploration of the planet, one of the planets? Like, I'm pretty sure she gets that away mission because of him, and it's a long-lasting one. And frankly, it could have lasted a damn sight longer. Miles did a lot for his wife and was a loving father as well. Keiko is one of the few people across all of the different series I would have happily airlocked, vented out into space. You've just got to get rid of sometimes you just got to get rid of the corruption. And she's one of those people. Very few people. Chakotay is one of them. But yeah, I absolutely love Deep Space Nine. It's such a good show. And because it's mostly focused in one place, they really have to ramp up the politics side of things. And I think they did a great job of that. Also, it has one of the greatest characters in all of Star Trek. Here's a certain name that will probably ring a dozen bells or so. Elim Garak. Garak is one of the freaking coolest people in all of Deep Space Nine. Garak is the local tailor, promenade shopkeeper, a clothier, and also ex-Cardassian agent. He is such a cool character. He plays up what he can and can't say so beautifully. The actor plays it in a way that I don't think anybody else could have easily done. It is just so beautifully played, and Garak is such a cool character. Another character I absolutely adore from Deep Space Nine, probably the one that I would deem the second best character. Oh, god damn it. I know a lot of people may disagree, okay? A lot of may disagree, and I'm probably gonna I'll have to put two characters in this point. Rom and Nog. Quark and Rom. Sorry, Quark and Rom. Nog's actually pretty good. No, I like the growth of Nog. I do like the growth of Nog. He goes from being an absolute, like, waste of space on the station, constantly pranking people and causing endless problems, to an actually respectable member of Starfleet. Nog's growth is really good. But Quark is such a good character, and Rom starts out as nothing but a dullard, but god damn, the character growth across the entire series is really good. Really damn good. I like the Ferengi family on Deep Space Nine. They're really good. And the third character, who, honestly, it is between Quark's, the Ferengi family, and this character, Odo. Odo used to be my absolute tippy top favorite, but Garak has kind of taken over that, and honestly, I've come to really just enjoy the Romulans. But Odo is definitely, like, this is a really, really close list. Really close. There is barely any distance between these characters. They're all very well done. And fourth is, of course, Sisko, because Sisko is actually a really good character, and I very much have enjoyed him. The actor's way of talking is very strange, and yeah, you kind of have to get used to it. You really have to get used to how he talks. because the way he talks is it's kind of like Shatner's delivery, and it not exactly like Shatner's delivery, but it is sort of in that vein. But the character and the way the actor actually goes about things, he is a very good physical actor. In terms of the delivery of lines, you got, like I said, you got to get used to the character's strange manner of speaking. But Cisco is a very, very good character. Quark and Rom are a good pairing. I did enjoy Quark. Would have liked to see some Garak versus Quark, spy versus smuggler stuff. Yeah, that would have been good. I feel like there was a little too much focus on Kira's bullshit. And it takes quite a few seasons for Kira to grow up. Once she does, though, she goes from being one of the most annoying characters there to being one of the best characters there. Cisco seemed a better character as a ship commander than a station commander. No, and I don't think he... I think he knows it. But he's pushed into that position. He still does his best. And when he is basically dubbed as important by the prophets of the planet they're over, the Bajoran homeworld, because of the wormhole, they can't really get rid of him. It becomes a necessity by just unfortunate happenstance. So. No, absolutely. He is a better ship commander than a station commander. But, again, you're forced into a role. You do the best you can with what you've got. So, that's a thing.
Take it, bitch!
Wait, what? Ah, frick! Hey, Kiraboros, how you going? Hydration! Thank you very much. Also, Rum Nog? No, Pion. Nog is a young a young Ferengi. Man, you get points and you abuse them like this? Crazy. Hey, how's it going, man? It's good to see you. We're kind of progressing very slowly. There's been a lot of discussions going on, and it becomes very difficult to read through things when we're having such in-depth discussions. Not really what I expect on a Rogue Trader day, but I'll freaking take it. I love in-depth discussions. Because it's funny and it's my thing. I'm good, just sleepy. Yeah, late season Kira was a good character, especially when helping the Cardi uprising. Yeah, no, the fact that she went from absolutely hating and loathing and despising the Kardashians to actually being an incredibly helpful leader. She goes from being just this irritating person that just happens to have a high-ranking position to earning the position she has. She grows up. Over the course of what is effectively, what 7 years effectively, she grows up. You don't get that level of character growth anymore. I swear to the gods, you do not get that kind of character growth anymore. And the fact that she actually got that character growth was amazing, because I hated her for the first bunch of seasons. But when she starts shifting, when the wheels start turning, when she starts realizing that being a rebellious, person doesn't really get anything done, when she starts actually in some ways turning against her own people because they're not doing things in a way that is actually conducive to any form of diplomacy or actually furthering their own people. That shift is really enjoyable. Because they have so many politics problems on Bajor. So many problems post-Cardassia. And the fact that she grows up enough to say, this is wrong, this is the wrong direction, is brilliant. Brilliant writing. simple, and yet, how often do we see it? I've been reading a newish manhwa for an anti-hero who just lost their one factor that was holding them back. Oh, and they're creative with teleportation, but the manhwa keeps them to rules that stop her from being too powerful without her learning to adapt around the rules. Huh. So she's just lost the factor that holds her back and has now just gone absolutely batshit and is just unleashing the everything that is her incredible power. That's cool. Footfall is just a brief stop. What next? As soon as we resolve the issues plaguing the ship and establish contact with the key worlds of your protectorate, the time will come for your Magne Accessio, the official ceremony of donning the mantle of the rogue trader. It is mostly a formality at this point. You already possess all the privileges granted by the warrant, and yet it is a major milestone in your personal history. The moment your name graces the list of heads of the von Valancius dynasty. We're all looking forward to that day, Lord Captain. Hey. Me too. I'm looking forward to glorious power. I mean, what? Yes, absolutely deep end, yet trying to keep a public persona. And she still goes after those she deems as evil. It's just that deems is becoming more broad. That's a problem. She's going to turn herself into enough of a problem she'll have to be dealt with. Yay, more power, let's go! Exactly. Tell the Lady Navigator I'll give her leave to make the translation from the warp into real space. And let's get on with it. Big Disc begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. Azzy, I've been stuck in one freaking section of conversation for the past hour. But you're finally down to only one location left to write up, so you got more done than I did. Granted, I was having a good rant about Star Trek, so hey. Across the various seasons. But if I remember correctly, wasn't Neelix's squeeze early on, Kess? Something like that? She was insufferable. I'm glad they actually got rid of her. Yes, Neelix did improve to some degree, but I still think he's the most irritating person there, bar Chakotay, who I still very much do not like. I know you were. I turned you down and got back to work. Ah, fair. Cassia, absolutely terrible character. Very much up there with Keiko for me, gaming. Absolutely up there with Keiko. Terrible, terrible characters. A bit of a shame that fairly decent actresses had to be saddled with such terrible characters. Unfortunately, in some cases, such awful characters are necessary. In Keiko's case, I genuinely wish somebody had dealt with her sooner. And I don't necessarily mean throw out the airlock as much as I want that. I feel like some point somebody should have just said, why do you treat your husband like that? Like, what has he done to deserve this treatment? Because it would have been nice to know. And just have somebody call Keiko out on her shit could have made a world of difference on story for her. She could have evolved. Become somebody we actually like toward the end of the series. They just never did that. In the end, their best decision was getting rid of her temporarily. She went on an away mission. But it's such a shame when writers don't really consider a character being... Like, just because the character's unpopular doesn't mean they can't be redeemed. Redeem them! Make them more interesting, more pleasant to deal with. But these characters were insufferable. Also, for chaos! Change brings conflict. Conflict brings blood for the blood god. Blood breeds plague, and plagues bring change. Change necessitates indulgence, which brings more conflict for chaos. Kiraboros. Funnily enough, all of the Chaos Gods actually do represent genuinely necessary parts of life. You know, Nurgle is decay, but decay usually supports new life. Like Nurgle's whole thing, you know, if he was, you know, as a god, his domain is basically death and decay, you know, life and death. Decay creates matter, which supports new life. That life will eventually decay and support new life then. That's Nurgle. Unfortunately, Nurgle's actual way of doing things doesn't function that way. Yes, they do, which is why they're so cool. Fair enough. Yes, I did a 4 Pillars Chaos chant then. Fair enough. I had a streamer read, you know, way back in the day, I had Takanashi Kiara recite the Sith Creed. A lot of people are like, that's so nitty, it's so geeky, and I'm like, it's so cringe. No, it was cool. And the fact that she thought it was a poem that I wrote myself made it even better. Until she realized, wait, is this a reference? I was like, yes, it's from Star Wars. Because she was getting so angry. She got so angry at Super Mario Sunshine that I couldn't help but tease it. Honestly, I could not help. I had to super chat. It was a cheap super chat at the time, but it was enough that she would read it out. And the whole sequence made me laugh so hard I clipped it. I don't have a clip anymore, but it'll be there somewhere on a channel fairly early on. Each of the Chaos Gods are... Wait, the reason Nurgle is wrong is Nurgle preserves. Nurgle goes against change and uses decay to preserve. Each of the Chaos Gods are broken in some way, which often comes from the other gods, which is why they're so beautiful. So what? If all the Chaos Gods were completely separated from each other, they'd actually work in harmony? Exactly! Nice thought! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! I thought it was great. I don't care if people think it was cringe. That was awesome. It's one of those moments where you get the streamer to do the thing, you know? Vigdis begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space. And measured chanting fills the corridor to safeguard the vessel and its crew. More like they just contain elements of each other, or lack thereof. Fair enough. Two separated then. Turn them all into one blob, that'll solve the problem. The blob. Vigdis turns to, by the way, the original The Blob was a comedy, and you cannot tell me otherwise, but I hear the 1980 version of The Blob is actually pretty goddamn good. Like, it's actually spooky. Need to watch it at some point. Vigdis turns to you again. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodora's demise and you inheriting the title. Liege Takara will be informed. It is required so we can use the dock. And besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader. He will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can either arrive on the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. No! I have just obtained glorious power. No! You will announce me properly, thank you. I didn't obtain this title through my own blood, sweat, and tears, quite literally, just to not be announced. No, seriously, in the tutorial, you actually are under massive threat. And your blood, sweat, and your blood for the most part, but your blood, sweat, and tears are the reason you're in the position you are now. Because you did something even Theodora couldn't. You got access to the chamber with the writ. With that warrant of trade. With the frickin' the important treasure. That is a rough tutorial. Actually, a pretty much, yeah. It also sets the tone of the game beautifully. I do wish it was not fully voiced because I liked doing the voices myself, but yeah, unfortunately, it got fully voiced, which is, and some of those voices I do not think fit, but that's just me. I know an SCP blob, and that's creepy. It's a creature that acts friendly and lives in the drains. Convinces people it has really nice and cool things down in the drains. Then drags them into the drains with so much force they become liquid. So like a side grade to Pennywise. I'm hearing it, but blob. Yeah, no, I'm hearing it, but blob. I have decided, tell the liege I will arrive officially as the rogue trader. It will be done, Lord Captain. Vigdus bows again. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. I think last time we went into incognito. No, not this time. Oh. Look at my bird. Look at my bird. Look at that bird. Good bird. Very good bird. Right. Well, we have just undergone a very, very long sequence of talking. So naturally, let's do some more talking. Where's Cass? Cassie! Honey! Tyroki, Cassia offers you a reserved smile and waves at you in greeting. Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. What is your special sight reveal?
You are engulfed in clouds the color of dark umber. They carry an old pain and doubt.
As if in trance, Cassia reaches for your shoulder with the tips of her fingers. A strange feeling of relief comes over you, as if your lungs have fully opened. Oh, that'd be nice. Allowing you to take a deep breath for the first time in ages. The young woman notices your expression and jerks away frightened.
I beg forgiveness for my inappropriate behavior. When I see such oppressive colors, I immediately want to paint them a different hue, to disperse them. I already mentioned I cannot control it, except this time, I thought I would be able to, for whatever reason.
There is no need to apologize. You mastered the power in order to aid another. To aid me. I'm grateful. She shyly smooths her already perfect hair. Ha ha ha! Yes!
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Yes! We continue in the direction of wooing Cassia. If we can have Cassia and Argenta win, but hopefully Argenta's not the whip kind. Yeah, no thank you. Yeah, except for years it was considered a safe class. I wouldn't. Blob it! Twist it! Hold up, wait. What is it? Bop it, twist it, pull it, bend it, flip it, extend it, load it, cock it, aim it, squeeze it. Wait, what? Kill it! Wait, what? Kill it! Wait, what? Kill it! Yeah, that was from Robot Chicken. That was a really good one. A lot of the Robot Chicken stuff I don't find particularly funny, but damn if that wasn't. Basically, dude plays that game, and as he's doing it, it's slowly turning into a sniper rifle. Which I think is frickin' hilarious. Thank you for the conversation. I guess we don't have anything new with Argenta. Some robot chicken is brilliant. It is. Some of it is definitely, we had an idea and we threw the idea at the wall and it just didn't stick, but we did it anyway. I mean, there's no problem with that. That is not inherently a problem. Do we talk to these two or do we get on with it? Screw it. Let's go see if there's anything new. Nope. Cool. Is there anybody else we want to talk to? Cabela, where's Cabela? Does Cabela actually hang out up here? Where the heck is Cabela? I'm about to give up. You've made it too hard. Okay, I give up. Made it too hard to find her. Right, let's get on with it. Some of it is gory joke or scream joke or outrageous joke or fart joke, and hoping it lands, but it just doesn't though. And that's the thing, right? They have an entire show filled with short skits where maybe it lands, maybe it doesn't. And that's okay. I mean, that's not too bad. That's the kind of humor that the Rick and Morty guy had, and there's a reason why I liked aspects of Rick and Morty. I actually think it's gotten better now that he's gone. The problem with with the way he did things was his level of improv is very in the moment and doesn't feel like yeah. I guess I don't really like his sense of humor where a lot of the attempt at improv is really in the moment trying desperately to find an idea and just picking at the bottom of the barrel. You know that gun game? That was filled with that kind of humor and it just did not land for me. It was so irritating. They had to change voice actor for Rick, right? And Morty. From my understanding, that is two different people now. The same guy voiced both characters. Now they're two different voice actors. I'll give them credit. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell the difference. It is really hard to tell the difference. They were told to keep the characters sounding exactly the same if possible. They've done a very good job. Okay, let's go down. Down by the river. Okay. Unknown ships. Red. Lord Captain. Rava's voice over the Vox sounds wary rather than annoyed. Getting reports of several ships moving toward us. Judging by the fact that they're not responding to our hails and the telemetry shows a trail of macro batteries, they're not here for a chinwag. Ready to issue orders to prepare for battle at your command. Where did they come from? Why haven't you noticed them before? The rubbish of Furibundus. And I'm not talking about those these wrecks that are about to open fire. I mean the remains of meteorites, gas clouds, refuse from the shipyards. It all bunches together and the smaller ships hide behind it to harass ships as they emerge from the warp. Oh yeah, yeah, I never noticed the voice actors were different either either other than small things. No, I had to look it up. I was like, these sound too similar. I need to look this up. When I looked it up, oh shit, it's two different people. So yeah, no, yeah, and this most recent season was actually very good. Its ending was really good. Holy crap, the most recent season ending was fantastic. And they've had a couple of fantastic season endings, but this season in general was just enjoyable. Honestly, your Twitch trap crashed. Oh no. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Like, are you using your phone or what? What do? Yeah, haven't watched for a while. I need to go back from the start. Oh, dude, there's a bunch of seasons that are pretty rough. So when they fired that dude, there's a shift in the writing as well. And that shift in the writing, in my opinion, got better because there's less reliance on in-the-moment improv to say random lines. And none of that constant, this and this and that, because, look, I can understand characters having stutters, but that was how they did pretty much everything, and I don't like that. The most recent season, maybe 2 seasons, have been fantastic, but this current season, fantastic. I loved the Pickle Rick moment. I used to, but no one shuts up about it, so now it's just annoying. Yeah, the constant wasn't always amazing. Yeah, and they would extend it that and this ooh-wee, this it's like, dude, I get it. You're better off just writing the lines, my guy. Stop trying to improv it in the moment. Stop. And now, well, shit came out about him and he's gone, so yeah, yeah. Also, the extra dimensional TV stuff really didn't land. It just didn't land for me. A lot of that stuff as well was very just in the moment jokes and all that stupid stuff, and yeah. Like, do 10 takes and make something instead. Well, that's the thing. Improv in the moment can work. Movies have proven this time and time again. Some of the most well-known lines throughout movie history are improvised in the moment and left there because they're great. In fact, you know what's good? Let me alt tab. I'll give an example. Hang on. Let me. Okay. So best improvised lines is where we're gonna go with this because I want to do it relatively quick. So you're gonna need a bigger boat in Jaws. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, when Leia says come on! Hey, I'm talking here. What? Yeah, but they were still the chosen cut. Exactly. So Harrison Ford responding with "I know" as Solo, very in character, very, very fitting, and it's well known. In Blade Runner, the whole like tears in rain is also improvised. Now, these aren't necessarily the ones I'd jump to, but it's what a quick Google search, you know, found. So let me quickly look. Movies are some of the best examples. Huh? Oh, I didn't know that one, actually. Huh. In Avengers Infinity War, apparently Tom Holland's, you know, at Spider-Man saying, "I don't want to go." Apparently that was improvised. Huh. Here's Johnny. It was improvised. In fact, it almost didn't make it into The Shining because the director didn't get the joke. No, that's, I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's the hot damn thing. Apparently that was improvised. I'm trying to find the weird hissing sound that Hannibal Lecter makes in Silence of the Lamb, that was improvised. It's also one of the most well-known sounds in all of movies. When anybody says fava beans, you're almost guaranteed they're going to add the because that's what they remember. Yes. Do you guys remember the movie Zoolander? That's a bit of a guilty pleasure of a movie, to be honest. It's just so stupid, it's fun. So There's a moment where Zoolander is told that male models are used for assassinating people, and right after he's told that, you know, told exactly what the thing is, there's a moment where the guy shit. I can't remember the name of the bloody actor. But there's a moment where the actor forgets his line and just goes, "But why male models?" And the response of the guy telling him all this information, like, are you serious? I just told you that a moment ago. That was all improvised. Like, it was just in the moment, and it just happened because he the blank repetition was, yeah, it was really supposed to be there, but hey. Still, there are better ones. There's one. So, Blazing Saddles. One of my favorite moments of Gene Wilder in any of his movies, because his art of the comedic pause is masterful. There's a moment where the common clay of the New West quote, let me grab it. So context, I would go watch a clip of it, honestly. But the moment is on point. It's fantastic. But the full quote, you have to remember, these are simple farmers, the common clay of the New West. You know, morons. That's improvised, apparently. It's one of my favorite moments that I use in general, and it's fucking improvised. Goddamn. Let me grab one or two more. Yes, Harry Pothead. There's a moment where they're posing as Crab and Goyle, and Draco's like, "I didn't know you could read." That's apparently that's improvised. Scream, fucking hit me with the phone, dick. That's improvised. There's some that I've heard. What was this one? There's an hang on. Let me hopefully not have that come through. I didn't know that. In The Mummy, Benny's line of the whole "love the thing with the sand wall," that was apparently improvised. Speaking of amazing quotes, not improvised this one, but Tanya the Evil's "people are no better than beasts," full quote. Oh, dude, we've already been over the majors, the major in Helsing Ultimate. So, no, yeah, Tanya the Evil's fantastic. Let me see if I can find one more thing that would possibly be quite recognizable. Yeah, Monty Python is always, there's always a decent amount of improv going on. Nope. Come on, there's some really well-known ones. Why are they not listed in any of this stuff? Come on! I have a terrible memory. Help me out here, internet. Why is there mostly modern or hyper old stuff? Damn it. Damn it. I know that I'm kind of ruining my own stream here, but come on. No. Oh, bloody hell. Wait, John Candy. Oh, yeah. John Candy and Catherine O'Hara in Home Alone. When the mom is trying to get home and the polka guy you know, it helps her out. Apparently, the majority of their stuff was improvised. If I recall correctly, they were both good friends, so they could just improvise a random conversation. That was a genuine thing. That was cool. Man, there's... Oh, yes! Not purely improv, not purely improv. People apparently knew what was going to happen on the day, but Indiana Jones shooting the sword-wielding assassin, that was pseudo, like, that was an of the day kind of decision. Apparently the sword dude was pissed at the decision because months of training went out the window, and he was told to fall backwards. I'll have what she's having when Harry met Sally. Yeah, no, I think that's enough to give a general idea of improv lines just kind of fitting the moment. And yeah, no, that'll do. That'll do quite nicely. Having to stop and alt tab though. Jeez. All right. Let me see. Could this be the work of Conrad Voigtveer? The silence over the Vox lasts for several seconds. It's possible. He could have hired some scum, or maybe it's just a pirate who saw the state of our ship and decided to push his luck. All right. On my order, all stations get ready for void combat. Speaking of, oh yeah, it is pretty cool. I agree. Also, we got you on the, oh my god, this is my special subject hyperfixation. But it's so cool to hear. No, seriously, apparently alt caused this. Okay, ship on ship combat. Couple of Cobra class destroyers. So are we actually in the warp, or are we just, no, we're in space now. What is that? Is that the is the storm going on in the background? Is that the chaos stuff? Kira do need to sleep though. Good night, Nyanatogi. Nyanatogi? What? Man, you keep shifting everything, even if not intentionally. All right, I kind of want to fire, so we have a port side gun, a starboard gun, a dorsal gun, and we have prow weapons. The Mazoa lance weapon, which as he was talking about earlier that he was he was working on, a long range weapon dealing damage to it shows an enemy within a narrow firing arc. We also have a Voss pattern torpedo tube, launches 4 torpedo salvos. There are, okay, that's the thing we could do. I reckon we should probably... We can't really attack like this, right? Doesn't really look like it. I'm gonna fire a torpedo, maybe? Can we do that? Unavailable. Okay. And we can't fire that right now. Then I would move... Can we move to here, maybe? I don't know. Okay, at the very least, we can get the Mazoa lance off. Whoo! Spicy meatball. Fire a torpedo. Yeah. And we also have the dorsal cannon. That is more of a laser. Okay, cool. Port side weapon. What's this? Void ship ram. We're not in a good arc for that. I didn't mean to. I'm sleepy. Get some sleep, man. You're good. Okay, end turn. Is it time for the plasma torpedoes? No? What do they want me to do? Keep moving? Like, what are we doing here? The ship must reach one of the end phase cells. Oh, okay. Okay, that's all right. We're gonna go right up next to them, and we're gonna activate the port gun to destroy one of the ships. And now we'll end. They're coming in behind me. Ballsy on their part. Okay. They've some degree of miss. They've hit so I see everything just goes through the frickin' the shield. That's hilarious, but also very strange. Right, we need a turn, and we are very sluggish. I mean, it makes sense. We're huge. In comparison to the enemy ship, we're massive. Any guns able to hit? Nope, no guns. We are gonna end our turn. Time for the plasma torpedoes, which are going to do a full U-turn. And we're gonna hope that it gets to move. Oh gods, it may not hit. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. Oh, they actually did some damage. Very good. Well, your mistake is now that the plasma torpedoes have an actual they have a straight line. Congratulations. We'll end the turn of the torpedoes, and now we are going to... Can't quite hit. It's just out of reach. We're gonna move in an arc as well. Luckily, we'll get repaired later. Now, I don't think we'll be able to hit. Nope. We could fire off another plasma torpedo. I don't think it's needed. How many do we have? It's a fairly good question. I actually have no idea how many plasma torpedoes we have to use. So naturally, I'll use another round. Oh, yeah, run away. Go ahead. Abso-freaking-lutely. Go. Go, you fool. Plasma torpedoes. Hey. Into the target. Well, I guess we didn't need to fire the other ones. Still entertaining. We got a whole bunch of scraps, some ancient machinery. We got some XP, that's nice. Hell yeah. Okay. So, we have an Ash World. We have the Templum. We're back here somewhere. Drusus's Blessing. We can't go to the Templum. I would like to go have a look at the Ash World. See if there's anything there. Possibly not, but it's worth having a look. Nope. Maybe they'll do something with it later. The Dead World. This could be where the Necron end up. Okay. Drusus's Blessing. So that was our first introduction to ship combat. That wasn't too bad. Lord Captain, we have the flagship Drusus's Blessing with a small escort dead ahead. They are requesting a direct Vox channel, patching you through. The Vox channel clicks, and after a brief pause, a dry, low voice hails you. Greetings, Lord Captain. I am honored to speak with the rogue trader of House von Valancius. May your name be known through the ages. Chartist Captain Osterius Thorfast, bearer of a free charter of the merchant fleet. How can I be of assistance? What is your squadron doing here? We develop supply routes for Chartists. You see, my ship is a representative of the merchant fleet in this part of the Imperium territory. Yet we do not have a fixed charter-defined trade route. Our mission is to establish business contacts with voidfarers in need of regular ship repairs and those who are interested in specialized goods. Yeah. From where do you source the components you sell? Are you asking me to disclose our suppliers to you? Thorfast laughs airily. Well, frankly, they come from both everywhere and nowhere. We get our wares either from lucky voidsmen who stumble upon a abandoned or dilapidated ship somewhere in a neighboring system, or from unlucky ones whose sorry tub arrives on footfall in such a state that it's easier to take her apart than to restore her. Not fair. I'd like to know more. For the most part, all the Expanse has is fleets of different organizations and small flotillas of merchant ships. Uninterrupted communication between worlds is a matter of life and death for many outposts of humanity. So even in this dark corner of the Imperium, there are chartists and ships assigned to the various Adeptus. Alas, the Expanse has yet next to no stable trade routes, so the job can be precarious at times. Then again, no one is more intimately familiar with the hardships of local commerce than a rogue trader. I want to take a look at the catalog of components available for purchase. Okay, we have access to a Mzoa Lance weapon, a Voss pattern torpedo tube. Something tells me we already have these. And a Mars pattern prow battery. Huh. Does anybody get the feeling we've already got these? What I would like, however, is to trade in enough stuff to get the military ceramite void ship plating and a glimmer pattern void shield array, as well as the scrap box. That would be nice. How do we increase our profit factor again? Ah. With difficulty. With great difficulty. What do we need the reputation for again? Can somebody remind me what the reputation's about? Does that increase, does that increase what we have? That increases what we have available, right? But we do still need that profit factor. I think that's how that works. Okay, in that case, not gonna go with fuel. Void pirate trophies are a thing. Ship components. There's a lot of stuff they don't want. So we'll send in the void pirate trophies with some ship components. That will get us to 500. And we need another 1,000. We can put in some fuel. More ship components. More ship components. Some fuel. We're probably gonna give up a good chunk of available fuel that we have that for trade. But I'd like to keep some ship components for later, so this is okay. We have leveled up. Now we can pick up the military Vermite void shield array. There's the glimmer pattern one. But for now we have this. Right. Do they sell anything else? What did that do? What did that do? I don't know what that did. I don't like the fact that I did something I don't know what I did. Huh. Well, okay. Be a little more careful then, I think. At least it was a weapon that we had multiple of, but still. If I click the knife, what happens? Does it just put it somewhere else, or... No, I think we get rid of it by accident. Can you rename your companions? No, unfortunately not. Ah, screw it. File available. There's no point not. Alrighty. Okay, so coming back out here, let's have a look. No, we don't need a hull repair right now. It's 2 damage. Come on. Void ship management. That's what we're going to look at. Right. So... deployment? What's this? Oh. We can level up our ship. Neat. Okay, we have no one in the posts, so that's a thing. Right, we should put people in posts. Right, Supreme Commander. We're gonna put Cassie there. Then we check everything else. Cassie is in one of 2 places she's good at. But we're gonna put Adira in Etherics, so that'll be fine. Master Cannoneer. Argenta. Shield Master, Pascal. Master of Maneuvers is our Seneschal. Warp Channeler. That'll be me. Aw. Nah, I mean, look, they're characters with actual backstories and stuff, so it makes sense. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Aha. Okay. Handy. So these are telling me the skills that we actually need. Cassia is fantastic for this. Torpedo control? What does that do? Gives control of the nearest torpedo salvo, granting it 5 vehicle movement points, I guess. Only works on torpedo salvos that were launched on another turn. Our Shield Master didn't get any boosts, but he has some serious tech use. Master of Maneuvers. I guess they also come with abilities, right? Hard to tell. I'm giving nothing, and Adira's giving nothing. Wait. So she's giving Swing Run, but no one else is really good for that position, bar, say, me. We're probably going to lose Heinrichs. And yeah, nobody else is good for that position. A shame, because I have a feeling that Cassie might be able to have use of this vulnerability scan, but oh well, c'est la vie. Development we can't do anything with right now. Right. Upgrade the RAM. So this is, where do we put this? In the arsenals? In the armor? No. Where does it go? Supposedly there. Ah, I see. We have plasteel plating. Negates 4 points of damage on each side. We would upgrade to ceramite, which negates 5 points of damage on each side. Okay. We will upgrade. Next up, the... Okay, so we got some upgrade potential. The prow. Voss pattern torpedo tubes. I'm pretty sure we have another Voss pattern torpedo tube we could equip. The prow is the Mazoa Lance. Does that have to be put in a very specific place? Oh, I see. So we could decide if we don't want the Mazoa Lance, we could fire off 2 torpedoes, or we could fire off 2 Mazoa Lances. Interesting. Okay. Naturally, multiple torpedoes all the way. Yeah, no, that'll do nicely. Now, arsenal, increase the hull integrity. Nothing to put there. Nothing to put there. Mars pattern macro batteries on the sides. So what I have, I've got a Mars pattern prow battery, which functions like the other one. So I could actually replace the Mazoa Lance, which does a lot of damage, with the lesser, I guess it's not really lesser, the Mars pattern prow battery. What we could do is, oh, I kind of wish we had 2 of these, because then we could just have a lot of Ducker at the front. But I'm going to actually replace one of the torpedoes with this. Although we could, if we can somehow angle ourselves, we could actually have 2 Mazoas. Now look at that. Look at that. That's absolute beast. What happens if we put the torpedo there? No change in the look. Huh, well. Let's put a prow battery on. And then we'll keep a torpedo. That's looking pretty good. I like that. Okay. Yeah, no, that'll do fine. Okay, that is everything. We're going to footfall. all there. No, give me a sec. I want to go scan this first. We're not going to go there, but we're going to go scan it. Lord Captain, the station's airlocks have been sealed from the inside. A Vox recording is stating that the priesthood of the Ultra Templum Calixus X-17 Sanctuary have no desire to communicate with the laity and are refusing access to guests on the basis of the Adeptus Mechanicus' privilege of inviolability, granting them sole jurisdiction over their sacred sites. Ooh. Okay. I just wanted to check it out. There's still an unidentified object here? That might be this. Alright. Void Dock Alpha Row. Yep, these are the people we're gonna take. They're the people we've been going hard with. I like Adira as a character, but she kind of takes my spot. If I wasn't taking that psycho spot, I would probably bring her. I mean, you can fix a lot of her build as well, by the way. I believe. Oh god, you guys can barely hear the game. My bad. I didn't notice. I would have... Damn. Let's turn that down a little bit. There we go. I have to change it for every game and I keep forgetting. So, last time we came here incognito and we got attacked, I think. The welcome procession is not particularly long, but it does attract attention. Everyone is dressed in their finest apparel, every button gleaming. Standing in front of the others is a woman with clearly expensive implants. She bows in a solemn curtsy. Rogue Trader, Footfall welcomes you. On behalf of the Liege, Lord Villadame Takara, allow me to express my joy at your arrival. The Liege awaits you at his residence, but should you have other business to conduct on the station, I will be honored to serve as your guide. Cassia's lips curl slightly. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome, far less appealing hues lurk, murky and diluted. The look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. This is why you bring a navigator along. What's the situation on Footfall? There are certain problems, your lordship, but the Liege can acquaint you with them far better than I. Awareness test succeeded. Behind her polite, soft tone, you detect the slightest hint of nervousness. It's as if she is reciting a reply she has carefully prepared beforehand. You really should talk to the Liege about this. She doesn't get a chance to say the rest.
Hey, newcomer.
Oh, cool, it still happens.
How's this for a warm welcome?
Bring it, jackasses. Damn, did they just absolutely murderize those well-dressed people? Well, this certainly was a decision. Okay, so I guess this is just happening no matter what we do. Cool, I'll take it. Let me show you why this was a terrible decision. Very good, very good. Right, who is going to be where? Argenta needs to be ranged. So I'm going to put her behind some cover where she can happily shoot to her heart's content. Cabela needs to be up close personal for slashy slashy slash. The slashy of slashes. That looks like somebody ranged. Pascal can go deal with that. Abelard could possibly, but I'm going to actually send Abelard. Let's see. Cassia's going to annihilate those guys, but she is going to be in trouble in a very quick amount of time. So we're going to put the Seneschal here. Might need to move Cassia over a little just so she's a little bit safer. Me, I'm going to be right here, hiding behind a pillar, like a true leader should. Right, Cassie, I open the third eye. Oh boy, maybe I screwed up by putting Pascal there actually. Yeah, boy. Yep, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. I could annihilate those guys, however. No, we have to get rid of these before they become a problem. However, I kind of messed that up. I could hit Pascal and heal him with myself. That being said, Pascal is probably going to get ravaged, but the person up there is not as big a problem. Okay. It's not as good, but I'm going to fire off here. Oh yeah, and she does actually have the whole front line, back line, all that jazz. Pascal won't have the ability to move. Cabela would have the ability to make use of this, but she's out of range. Let's hit a zone of fear. That forces her forward. I won't be able to give it a turn, but Pascal we can do there. That buffs him up. Then we're going to have Cassie move in behind cover. Perks to her being very, very high on initiative. Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? Are you going from... Really?
Here we go.
I mean, that's a choice. Oh, please do go after Cabela. Okay, maybe a little less. Jeez. Cabela's not going to be able to go for a while, huh? Argenta may have to move in and Medicae. No. Whittle down the enemy forces. Let me have a look here. So Bloodstained Amelia, we can't do a lot about right now, but we can whittle down these forces a little bit. So you guys, or one of you, no, all three of you go next, go there. And then you. Okay, well, we could possibly whittle down these guys, the Anvur thugs over here. As a matter of fact, yes. In fact, we could run and gun to a slightly more advantageous position. Or we could just, no, move to an advantageous position. Would probably be, I would say... here. There's a chance we won't hit, but that's fine. That's a chance I'm more than willing to take. Allies dodge, no. Gain momentum, yes. Here we go. Nope, no sniper, not the sniper rifle. We want Daka. Ah, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Activate, and... give him hell! That's gonna miss those guys. Nope. There we go. There we go. Beautifully done. Well done, Argenta. And that's why you earn the big bucks. And we can still fire. Swap weapon. Vergent, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Now, who was that dude that went next? This one right there. Give that one a headache. How dare you clown me around? What are you doing there, Vergent? Whoa, 51 evil. Damn. That is a lot. You missed all the crazy and in-depth conversations. All right, Amelia has just been battered and she wants a slice of the seneschal. Good luck with that. Oh yeah, Abelard is the right person for the side. Cabela Cabela probably is going to need me to move around and give her a heal. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I get it. Sure, whatever. Right, Cabela. Now, one of these abilities allows her to heal. Which one is that? Cost 13 wounds to use. Uh-huh. Costs 15 to use, but gets 15 back? What? Oh, okay, I see. We'll choose that one. Stabby. Oh, that is not pleasant. She is gonna need some help. But oh shit, I can't. Wait, no, it'll be fine. There we go. She's healed back. And unleash. Gods, that's tempting. Slashy, slashy. Okay. Could have been a little better. Could have been a little better. It's very unfortunate. I could Death Waltz to finish these guys off. Might be a bit of a waste though, but it could be funny. Screw it. It's funny. Do it. Just do it. Start with this asshole. Go again. Ah, so good. Right. You can only move as far as here. That might let me reach. Am I able to get to a target? No, I'm not. We're going to save that then. Giving her a two-hander was the absolute best possible choice I could have made. Right. What does this do? Reckless Strike. That works for me. I could Taunting Scream. Force everybody to attack Abelard. Nah.
Indeed.
Charge! Ooh, dodgy. Ow! Well, that was just unpleasant. I should have done this first. Well, that was just awkward. How dare. Screw it. I need you guys to aim at him. You hurt too much. You'll actually hurt me. Right, we have a lot of possibilities here. Can we... I think we'd only be able to do it once, and we wouldn't have any allies to help with it. Okay. I am going to help out. Oh, Cabela's fine. Never mind. We'll heal Abelard, and we're now going to boost Abelard. We're going to boost Abelard in every possible way right now. In fact, we're going to just boost him absolutely all the way. Because that hurt. Alright, Pascal. Well, Pascal's in a rather unique location right now. He's in a great place for hitting multiple enemies all at once. Machine Spirit Communion. That's a great thing to do right here, right now. I can hit everybody I want to. Debuffs. Upgrades. Target gains a bunch of exploits. Can't really do anything with that anymore, so that's a bit unfortunate, but oh well. A woo to you too, Scoob. I do that for fun. It doesn't mean anything. For the next attack against a target affected by an exploit. Yeah, but he's gonna waste his turn doing it. Smacky smacky! I was gonna brutalize both of them, but kind of hard to pull off right now. You did what? You dare sheep me? Oh gods. Okay, I've made a mild mistake. Now it's got hair. Why does it have hair? That shouldn't have hair. What the heck? Hang on. That's easily fixed. Okay, that's funny. That looks so dumb in the funniest possible way. It's like I'm hiding behind a sheep plushie instead of becoming the sheep. Let me go over to, let me have a look at Ty Bar here. So much stuff. This Yui is not intended for what I'm doing with it. All right, hide that. That'll do. Okay. That is now fixed. Is there any more that I'm forgetting? Nope, good. Save that, and we'll disable that. There we go. Now I'm just sheep. Voila! Yeah, I found a bug. You know, Cassie, if I move Cassie right here, I could hit all of that and laugh my way to the bank. I know she's not using her strategist stuff. Probably should. But... well, I have no reason not to. Hey, welcome to the front line. And Cassie, I need you to scream for me, please. Yeah, a visual scream. Just doesn't actually scream. Can't hit Pascal with that, but I can hit Abelard. Abelard then gains the ability to screw this guy.
Great hair. I took care of this one.
Ow! How dare you frickin' get a counterattack on your way down. Your death throws are not appreciated. And then I'm going to do this. Might make me run away. I have far too much willpower. What the hell's Argented? Oh, right. That's right. I remember. We'll bring Argenter up here. Reminder, finding a bug is an honor of Ba. An honor of Ba. Good grief, man. Alright, there goes their top dog. In fact, screw it. Let's just get this out of the way, shall we? Don't worry, he's got a shield. Right. Who's left? Because there's clearly people left. It's just those three. Okay, well, Argento wasted that a little bit, but that's fine. That's adorable. That's adorable. Look at them. Look at them. Everybody, look at them. They're just, aren't they so cute? They really thought they could. And now Cabela's there.
Trust me.
Slashy, slashy. Jumpy, jumpy. Smack. Oh, she is sick. The shivering young servant looks up at you with horror in his eyes. And protect me. They killed. A gang of puny thugs attacked me. The Emperor's anointed rogue trader von Valancius. Such a poorly organized attempt on my life can only be seen as a personal affront. Absolutely. The Archaeos! How you doing? Yo, welcome back. Is that what the hip kids say these days? Yo? I say hi. Do I look like one of the hip kids? I haven't been a hip kid in my life. I would wager that this was not an assassination attempt, but rather a common raid. The half-wits had no idea that they would run into you, Lord Captain. Still, it wouldn't hurt to be on our guard. The great have been known to fall to the pathetic. We can attest to this from our recent experience. Abelard frowns and rubs the bridge of his nose as if fatigued. No comment. Your lordship, those guys were Envers. They're a gang. They're the worst. I'm telling you, they're scared of no one. Not even Liege Takara. He glances around like he's expecting more bandits to appear. Does this kind of thing happen often around here? Shooting? Yes. Attacks on nobles? Not very often. Unless it's the Envers. They're vicious. Not a week goes by without them killing and gutting somebody. They're wicked heretics. They respect nothing. They follow no rules. Go and report this to the Liege. Yes, I'm sorry, your lordship. I'll just go report to the Liege. They killed her. They killed my lady. Oh, this is terrible. Yes, fly. Fly, you fool. And now I'm gonna loot your lady. Alright, we got goods over on the right. We're gonna have to do a full look around first. Oh, hello, buddies. Ah, dead people. Dead people are goods. Okay. Fantastic. We'll take goods. Hey, look, more goods. Uh-huh. We need no rules or leaders. We're not an organization. We're a force of nature. Oh, God. Good luck to them. Ooh, what are these? A maglev impeller. A shotgun. Simple. Effective. More random stuff, but we did get an armor. That's useful. Enforce a light carapace. We may have somebody that can make use of that. I don't know. Care about that in a bit. One, 3, 4, 5.
None shall stand in my way.
Hit one. Fine. Abelard, you do it. 1, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 4, 1, 5, 3. Okay, let's start at the start. 1, 3, 4, 5 is a no. 1, 3, 5, 4. 1, 1, 4, 3, 5. 1, 5, 3, 4. 1, 4, 3, 5. I did already. 1, 4, 5, 3. Okay, it doesn't start with a 1. Hey, Pion, welcome back. 3, 1, 4, 5. 3, 1, 5, 4. 3, 1. If I, it's a good thing they take it out so you can't do the same one twice. No, I think that was the last of them. 3, 4, 1, 5. 3, 4, 5, 1. 3, 5, 1, 4. 3, 5, 4, 1. Got it. Look at the beauty of 4-piece is there's not many combinations. We got some interrogation goggles, some gun, boots that could be useful, a multi-key, and a fireproof cape. Handy. Man sees a combination of four numbers, immediately knows this is easily doable. Right, more goods. Forget everybody else, we're going for goods. It is a flyer, that's not going to be too interesting.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright. What's going on up here? Huh. That's not being added, huh? May the Emperor introduce this war guide. Perhaps I'm supposed to run from the armory. He won't get far with his legs blown off. What? We clearly need to talk with people after we look for loot. Let's grab all of the random flyers, because nobody should have to look at that crap. Go for the goods. Very nice, very nice. Goods for you! Yeah, exactly, goods for me. I appreciate that pun. Okay, anybody else? Anything else? More loot? Aristocrats. The aristocrats. This music is reminding me of frickin' League of Legends of all things. Way back when they did an event, some kind of pirate event. They had music like this that played in the on the murder bridge. It was about the only mode I actually enjoyed really playing in that game. Commerce 100, hello. First glance, these look like standard containers, but their frames are being reinforced and their sealing improved to keep the smell in. These are used to transport contraband. Huh.
Done.
The container is labeled Destination Janus. It is covered in dust. It must have spent a long time at the docks. Hey, isn't that for us? I'm pretty sure that's for our, for us. Huh. The walls of the container have rusted and its contents rotten away. A situation that is not uncommon for shipments trying to pass through Imperial customs. Okay, let's go do this one. We'll see if there's anything here. Life of St. Drusus, Volume 3. Lore Imperium. A small altar. The central spot has been given to Drusus, a saint from the neighboring Calixus sector, who is widely revered in the Coronis Expanse. Neat. Right, Is there anybody to actually talk to? Ragman. Let's go talk to Ragman. Take this rubbish back to wherever you found it. I won't accept it. Don't even ask. Okay. Opticon 22. The tall hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly. A breathing mask conceals his gaunt features. The skin on his hands is of sickly grey hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage and are plated in black chromium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness? What the hell? I've never heard that word before. Initiating identification procedure. This unit is defined as Logos Opticon 22 and is a fully authorized representative structural part of the Cognizance Fleet and the priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, trade deals, and donations. Initiating official greeting procedure for esteemed high-value visitors. Glory, success to House von Valancius. A Banaric aria begins to flow from the scratched vox attached to the tech priest's chest. Requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation Logisticar Theta. Pascal and Opticon 22 exchange glances and a short series of Banaric signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Opticon 22's head bows noticeably lower than Pascal's. What is Logisticar Theta? Under the contractual obligation in question, 34761, Terran years ago, the Explorator Cognizance Fleet received from representatives authorized units of the von Valancius dynasty a volume of high-grade promethium equal to the fuel capacity of 6 Tantalian void tankers. Received it and then didn't pay. Compensate, remunerate, settle accounts. Should I go on, or is that not enough synonyms? The stipulated payment reciprocal offering from the Cognizant Fleet can be made to von Valancius assets at the current time, after which the contractual obligation will be fulfilled, archived, Confirm your status regarding acceptance of the payment's reciprocal offering. I can confirm I'm willing to accept the payment, or I can consider the Prometheum a gift to the Cognizance fleet. What payment can I expect? Universal Mobile Orbital Deployment Extractiums Astra Arrator Processing Complexes in the quantity stipulated in the contractual obligation. Each unit has undergone a cycle of maintenance liturgies and has been assessed for conformance to the standard sacred standard template construct. Great creations of the Omnissiah, blessed be his benevolence, which has bestowed upon these complexes industrial might and a full cycle of reproduction and life support. Huh. Okay. You waited 30 years to pay up? Execution of payment reciprocal offering is in accordance with the specifications of the contractual obligation. Allocation of assets from the holdings of the Cognizant fleet was initiated when the tankers reached the main squadron, 14.9 Terran years after the initial transaction. The asset allocation process concluded 2.663 Terran years later. Transportation of assets to the Furbundus system took 16.862 Terran years. Final delivery of assets to Footfall took 0.331 Terran years. Clever. If you had been purchasing fuel for a squadron at the other end of the Imperium, you may never have had to pay at all. It would have turned to dust before you made it there and back. Yeah, no, I'll accept the payment. Thanks. The request is accepted. The sacred machines will be loaded into the hold of your vessel. The contractual obligation Logisticar Theta is concluded. The Cognizance fleet thanks House von Valancius for its cooperation. Huh. I seek friendship of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus is interested in, considers expeditious cooperation with rogue traders. Under the terms of the Treaty of Mars, it is willing to provide services to the von Valancius dynasty. The priority of service tasks can be raised if diplomatic links are strengthened. By the way, I will remind everybody, this guy sounds like a robot. So yes, of course it's reading like a robot. The Cognizance fleet will be glad alternative unavailable to accept. Any samples of sacred technology, samples of profane xenotech, miscellaneous items, reminders, storage, study, and or disposal of the aforementioned items, with the exception of 3 miscellaneous items, is the parental right of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Explorator fleet will also accept information about planets in the Coronis Expanse that have not previously been recorded in the Planetary Registrar. Okay. Why do you want information about planets? Omnifaceted study of the Coronis Expanse is the sacred mission operational objective of the Cognizant fleet. Information about the planets and star systems of the Coronis Expanse will be compiled, studied, and transferred to the holy repositories of Mars upon completion of the Great March of Exploration mission. This process increases the totality of knowledge and decreases the totality of ignorance in the universe. Bloody hell. Why are you interested in xenotech? Isn't this heresy? The Cognizance fleet finds it reasonable to believes that forbidden knowledge in the hands of the laity causes destruction and violations that go against the Omnissiah's will. Bloody hell, I need a drink. Weakness of mind and will unleashes xeno heresy, which consumes the laity whole. Laity, is that basically layman? An example that demonstrates that the outlined pattern of void station in the system of Lagran's belt. According to the data available to the Cognizance fleet, the heretics on the station have trade relations with Xenos for the sake of obtaining dangerous and pernicious technology. The destruction of these heretics is of high priority, but not high enough to demand immediate action. Right, so yeah, they're a problem. We recognize they're a problem. We're kind of spread thin, so we don't care enough. Wow. In that case, I want to make a trade deal. Buy all available, because there's no reason not to. We could... Oh, God, so we have to get all the way up to 5 to get some of this shit. What do we need? Is there anything we need out of here? Heavy plasma gun. God damn. Whoo! Okay. That goes pretty far. That definitely goes far. Right. So they want Xeno stuff. Okay. Maybe we'll hold off on that, on giving out some stuff for now. No, doesn't want the Xeno artifacts. Well, okay. We can come back. We'll come back. Don't worry about it. Right. Let's keep walking around and having a look. We'll move past this area when we're done. Nothing over here. There's the aristocrats. Oh! Finest wines from Janice. Now, Janice is one of ours, right? As we just covered this place in blood. And there's nothing we can do here, so I guess we kind of do stuff with these. We do what we need to do to go through. Oh, wait. I'm just gonna quickly go have a look at that. Containers marked foodstuffs, empty, and by the looks of it has not been moved in a while. Jeez, this place is lazy. Right. I like Alangar Questoris as a name. Morbeccio Cavalli. No, I like Questoris. That's cool. Wait your turn. Fuck you too. What do you expect me to do here, guys? Did you say something? No. No, I did not. Apparently, we're just going to walk on through. That's fine. Oh, goods. Goods that were hidden. Well, not looking particularly hidden, but there's something. Enhanced optics. Okay. Cyber Eagle gains more perception and deals more damage. Ooh. Grenadier's cloak, immune to damage from the wearer's grenade.
The stream will be ending soon. Boss, you'd better stop when it's time.
Oh, all right. I don't want to push my voice any further than I have. This'll do. This'll do quite nicely. So, to those of you who have been here, I do appreciate it, both YouTube and Twitch. It's time to raid out. Which direction we go, I'm not sure. Where shall we go? We had a good yarn. We've gotten some stuff done. Possibly not as much as we'd all like, but a good yarn is its own reward. We are gonna head to Gunpla. There's Repo. Holy crackers and cheese, that scared me. What did? What scared you? What? Oh, the announcement. Yeah. Susie has a recording that just, it's there to help me know when I'm supposed to really end. Sometimes I push past it because I want to, but I really shouldn't. I really should end. This is about the right time. I think we're gonna head in a very simple direction then. Let's go raid Tycade. Tycade's doing some Gunpla stuff. If you happen to like Gunpla or art and shenanigans, Tycade is your man. Tycade is good people, and he's the entire reason I have that mad scientist look. So stick around for the raid, get you some points. I'm gonna start this up, and yeah, have a great one, everybody. Go enjoy some Gunpla. And me, I'm gonna get some food. Yeah. All right, you lot, get out of here. Go on, be gone. Shoo. And YouTube, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, guys. Have a lovely one. Whee!